Thank you, Megan. All sideline reports are brought to you by Memorial Medical Center. The keys to the game are presented by the Southwest Chevy dealers. What do you have for us tonight, Danny? Knees keys.
Well, here's what I have, Adam. So we're going to play consistent for 4 quarters. There's been a couple games where we've had a good first half or second half, but not consistent 4 quarters. Looking for 4 consistent quarters. QBs are going to get pressured, lots of pressure. They got to make good reads, take care of the football, find your hot routes, find the matchups you like, get the ball out, take care of the football. And the last one is improve the point of contact tackling. We got a lot of players in the right spot at the right time, and now we got to make the tackle there and give them no extra yards. So those are the things that I think are going to help us get that win tonight.
The Aggies won the toss. They choose to receive the opening kick. And Kyler Halverson will kick off for the Rainbow Warriors to Juwan Price and Omari Samuels. No return. And we will see Jonah Johnson to lead the Aggie offense. He did not play last Saturday, Danny. He only played 1 quarter 2 weeks ago. Right wrist injury, of course, on his throwing hand. Dino Maldonado really good last week, but it's back to Jonah Johnson here for the 5th game of the season.
Well, let me just say that we won the toss. We elected to receive, so that shows the confidence the coach has in Jonah. So we're going to get the ball to us, and once we get the ball, whether it's Dino or Jonah, don't care, but they have to make good reads because they're coming after him tonight, Adam.
Aggies coming off a season-high 43 points last week. Ran the ball really well in the first half. 3 rushing touchdowns. Omari Samuels had one of them, and he gets the first carry today. He's pushed out of bounds by Cortez Davis after a pickup of 2.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of pressure. You know, last week we saw Hawai'i start with like a 4-man rush, and then they moved to like a 3-man rush in the latter part of the game against San Jose State. So look for them to mix it up, but certainly they're going to bring pressure on Jonah.
Robert Downs the third in motion. Johnson's first throw since the injury. Pass is caught by Downs, who last week, Danny, he was the most active Aggie receiver. He had 5 catches to lead the Aggies a week ago.
Yeah, he had some great catches, and so they have a lot of weapons, and so they have to figure out which weapons they want to use, and part of that is going to be based on what they show them. Here they show a three-man front and leaves one-on-one to the outside, easy pitch and catch to the outside for Downs to make that positive yardage catch.
Whistle blown. Our referee tonight is Derek Anderson.
Timeout. New Mexico State, their first of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, not even a minute in, but this is already a big play early on. The Aggies last week, 7 for 13 on a 3rd down. A 3rd down and short coming up, and this was the big discussion all week, Danny. Would Dino Maldonado start, or would it be Jonah Johnson? Dino had an outstanding first half last week, struggled though in half 2, and Doug Martin feels like if Jonah's healthy, he gives the Aggies the best chance to win.
And I think part of that is because of all the different looks and all the different pressure packages that are going to be put on the quarterback. And so that's going to that's going to need a quarterback that's calm, collected in there to make those decisions. In the second half of last week's game, Dino struggled just a little bit, had a great game all around, but struggled just a bit.
The Aggies put Price in motion. He's now a wide receiver. He caught 6 balls a week ago. 3rd and 2, the Aggies need the 35-yard line. Johnson will keep it, and he reaches for the first down, and he has it. He's a big guy, 238-pounder. He's only netted 1 rushing yard, though, this year. Gets enough for the first down.
Well, here we are. This is important 1 yard right here. Yeah, Jonah's 6'3", 235, and you see him kind of take the ball, and look where he tries to get behind. He tries to get behind big Sage Dockstader out there on the edge, and look at Sage drive his guy 5 yards deep. That's a great drive right there by Sage.
Not a bad person to run behind. Dockstader, the most veteran of the bunch for the Aggies on the offensive line. Pass is caught by the birthday boy, Jared Wyatt, turning 24 today. And he makes his 12th catch of the season, picks up a handful.
Yeah. Jared's got great hands, but coming out of the backfield, he missed someone that was wide, that kind of ran a wheel route. He was wide open to the top. So let's watch the top of the screen there. So you see Juwan Price running to the top of the screen. There's no one with him right there. It could have been that we just wanted to throw the ball automatically.
Here's Price. Had a big week last week, and he's clipped out of bounds. He almost broke loose again. But it was Cortez Davis who just got his ankles Price picks up 16 on the scamper.
Yeah, I like it. You know, in our open, we talked about Javon Price, and we talked about what happens when he gets free. Well, he was free there, so look at the blocking at the point of attack there. You see Big Sage out there in the corner. We saw wide receivers picking up blocks as well. Big holes for Juwan to run through.
Aggies are into Hawaii territory. Rainbow Warriors coming off a good week defensively against San Jose State. A dump-off pass to the tight end, Tomas Whitford. His 4th catch of the season, first tonight. He was really active in the first quarter last week, Danny.
He was, and he's got some great hands when we get him the ball. I know that San Jose State had some trouble in part of the game with the tight end releasing, and so I was looking for tight ends as well to get him more into the game for this, because if they line up and everyone's accounted for, you end up with a tight end on a linebacker, and that gives you great odds.
Omari Samuels, the running back. Cole Harity in motion, far side of your television screen. And they stretch it out to Samuels, nowhere to go. He's met by Blessman Ta'ala, senior from American Samoa. This is a big defensive line for Hawaii.
Yeah, they're tough right there. So if you can't move them and they get in the gap, they're not moving. And we've had trouble running to the ball a little bit to the right. In that case, they took up the whole entire gap. Look at that, nothing happening right there. Pushed our right guard back. Our tackle got beat around the end, and there was just nowhere to go.
Hawaii allowing 35 points per game. Last week they held San Jose State to just 291 yards of offense, though, and forced 2 turnovers. 3rd down and a long one. Nice catch for Andre Bodison. It was a low throw. Bodison's a big guy at 6'5". He reaches down, and he moves the chains as he picks up the first down, a pickup of 17.
And we talked about all the reads, all the things that the quarterbacks are going to need to do. This is a very confusing place because you have receivers going, you have motion guys coming one way, you have receivers going one way, you have Andre coming out of the other direction, and no one was there to pick him up. It was a great read by Jonah on that.
Juwan Price, the pistol back. Now he motions out wide right. Johnson looking towards the 10-yard line. The pass is batted away a little too high for Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
Yeah, there's a lot of good opportunities that we could have put the ball in a lot of different places there. That may have worked if he would have just got the ball down a little bit. Jonah knows it. That could turn into a problem. Anytime the ball is up high over the middle, nothing but bad things happen at him. So he knows it. It was a good read, just kind of drifted on him a little bit. So let's see if he can get back in this thing and see what Hawaii gives him.
Coming into tonight, Johnson 46 for 90 this year for 444, just 1 touchdown throwing, 3 picks. Robert Downs the 3rd in motion. Johnson looking left. He throws it underneath. The big tight end Whitford, his 2nd catch during this opening drive. Still going to be a few yards shy, though, of the first down as he picks up a half dozen.
Yeah, so another great read. Lots of people and different patterns all over the place. Jonah looks to the right, looks to the left. You see the tight end kind of dragging across the middle here. His late release makes it very difficult because the linebacker doesn't know. Is this just another blocker, or is he releasing for a pass? It was a great disguise, but a great read by Jonah and catch.
Aggies scored a touchdown in their first 5 drives last week. Really successful in the first half. Johnson trying to get away. Pinballs forward. But the Aggies are going to have to kick a field goal here on their first drive. Good drive to start, and it stalls at the 14-yard line.
You get points. That's the most important thing here. But they came with pressure. Jonas saw it, but there was no one that he could check down to. Usually they're looking to dump the ball wherever the defender came from. But in that case, we had a receiver that was out for a pattern. There was no one there, and he just had to hold on to the ball.
33-yard attempt for Ethan Albertson. 5 for 7 this year in field goal tries. And the kick is on the money. Miss last week from 49 yards. Have made 5 straight before the miss last week. And the Aggies do get points. An Albertson field goal. Jonah Johnson returns. The Aggie defense on the field when you come back. They lead 3-0. Great to have you with us tonight. Adam Young, the former Aggie DB, Danny Nee, and Megan McCormick on our sidelines. Both teams looking for their 2nd win of the season, the first of 2 matchups in less than a month between these 2 programs. Ethan Albertson will kick off into the wind. The wind is a factor during the course of the game tonight. No fair catch called for. This is Diedrich Parson, who's a running back in the return game. And he scoots across the 25 up to the 26. And now we're going to see Chevin Cordero, Danny, a very talented dual threat quarterback for Hawaii.
Yeah, Cordero is having a great year, and he is a very talented guy who can run and throw the ball. He has no problem pulling down the ball and taking off. There's run quarterback draws out of it. So there's a lot that he has in his weapon arsenal. So let's see what he can do, but let's see if we can keep him contained.
Cordero from Honolulu, 6 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions this year. And he is making his 18th career start. Run pass option, deep throw on first down, has a man, it's caught, it's Nick Mardner, the most dangerous threat, and he runs it in for the touchdown. Nick Mardner, his 3rd touchdown reception, and just like that, the Rainbow Warriors strike for 6.
You know, the Achilles, one of the Achilles heels we've had on defense, Adam, especially early in games, we saw this. We saw it at UTEP, we saw it at a few other games along the way, is that the first play, the teams are going to go long. And this is exactly what happened, right? So everyone's thinking, oh, they're just going to kind of feel us out. They're going to kind of see what we're all about. And then, no, they're going to go all out, throw the ball deep. It looked like we're kind of in a cover 2-ish. Cyrus had to pass the ball off. That's too bad.
The Rainbow Warriors had been outscored 45-10 in the first quarter in their 3 losses this year. Cordero to Mardner, 7-3 Hawaii. And he's the guy that you saw on film, Danny, all week that you were really worried about.
I was worried about it. He's a big, tall guy that can run, you know, and the Aggies from here on out the rest of the season should know that every team that they're going to play is going to go for it on first or second of the opening drive and throw it deep, because we just seem to not kind of get acclimated quick enough. In that case, we didn't. It could be a coverage issue where one was passing to another and we're looking in the backfield thinking, they're just running a quick little run. Not so.
That's big for Hawaii because, like I mentioned before the commercial break, they had really been struggling this year in first quarter. Outscored 45-10 in the first quarter in their 3 losses this year. Now, the majority of those points allowed were against UCLA and Oregon State. Really good last week in the first quarter against San Jose State. But Todd Graham's bunch has been getting off to slow starts. So this is good news for the Rainbow Warriors for sure. It was a good start for Jonah Johnson, 5 for 6 for 41 yards on the opening drive. The Aggies collected 3 first downs. There's a look at Todd Graham, longtime head coach in his 2nd season with the Rainbow Warriors. Omari Samuels, the tailback. Johnson throws it incomplete. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda felt like he was holed, no call, and it brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, we also had someone coming on like a wheel route to the outside of Isaiah as well, and I don't know if he was just trying to get to Isaiah. Looked like he kind of tripped up or held just a bit, but no penalty, and here we go.
The Aggies averaging 20 points per game, coming off a season-high 43 last week, also a season-high 427 yards of offense a week ago. Omari Samuels on the carry. He picks up about 4. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and mid for the Aggies.
You know, lots of pressure. So you have everyone coming up. You have linebackers walking up. You have the defensive line and different stunts there. If you can break Omari past that first level to the 2nd level, he's off to the races. Because when they bring everyone, there's no one back.
The Aggies 2 for 3 on 3rd down during their first drive. This is drive number 2 for them. Johnson trying to get loose. Muasau chasing him down, and he gets to him. That's the linebacker, Darius Muasau, preseason first-team all-conference in the Mountain West, and he is a handful in that linebacker unit for the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, so lots of pressure there. You see kind of that stunt where he comes around to the outside, off the tackle. No one's there to pick him up because everyone's out in a pattern, and then he just tries to keep it alive by running out of the pocket. There's no one to go to with the ball, and so he just had to eat it. And we'll punt it away.
Loss of 4 on the sack. Luisao last year led all of FBS in solo tackles. He's a junior now from Eva Beach, Oahu. Josh Carlson will boot it away into the wind, and this is a stiff wind. Turner calls for the fair catch and handles. We're going to call his name a lot tonight. He does a ton for Hawaii offensively. 37-yard boot for Carlson. The Hawaii offense back to work when you come back. NM State and Hawaii starting a home and home here tonight at Aggie Memorial Stadium. For more on that scheduling quirk, we send it down to the Aggie sidelines to Megan McCormick.
Yeah, guys, NMSU plays Hawaii twice this year, a rare in-season home and home matchup. The Aggies actually head to Hawaii October 23rd. Now, I asked Ron Cartwright, Deputy AD, how this came about. He said the Aggies were supposed to play in 2020 at Hawaii. Now, Hawaii needed another home game this year, and the Aggies needed another home game in 2022. So essentially, by playing twice this year, they solved both scheduling conflicts, and who doesn't want to spend another game in Hawaii, guys? I mean, are they going to bring us with them?
I'm down. If they're paying for the flights, I am totally down. Us three can go down there and enjoy Hawaii, although right now, they're not allowing fans currently at their home games. And Danny, you were talking around this time last year about going to that game as a fan, and now you can't.
As soon as we saw the schedule come out, I said, okay, fam, here we go. Let's get the knee pad up. We're running. We're going to Hawaii. Hey, look at Nick. Look at Nick Jackalone here. Had a big interception to kind of seal the game last week. Comes in off the linebacker spot and makes a great tackle.
He tackled Day-Day Hunter, who stays in at running back for the Rainbow Warriors. Chevin Cordero, their quarterback from Honolulu, went to high school at the prestigious St. Louis School, which also produced Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa. Empty backfield for Cordero. Jock alone missed him, Danny, and then the pass is caught by Jared Smart. Jock alone was right there, and he whiffed on him.
Yeah, that makes it tough right there. We have a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Cordero kind of bounces around the backfield just a bit, and so here he kind of is like, oh, I'm going to run. Trevor's there to help with the run and support, but it leaves the middle wide open.
Here's Day-Day Hunter once again. He's taken down by defensive lineman freshman Garrett Bishop. Rainbow Warriors will use multiple running backs, Hunter, Turner, and Parson as well. Hunter gets 4. Hunter to the left of Cordero. They stick it in his belly, and Day-Day Hunter will move the chains as he picks up about 6.5, and that's good enough for a first down for Hawaii.
You know, this Hawaii offense will do, it's wide open, but they're not afraid to just run the ball and just kind of shove it down your throat as well. In this case here, you see the blocking, great blocking up front, created a big hole to run through.
Chevin Cordero, a veteran now, making his 18th career start. He's a junior, 6'1", 190. He throws, and the pass is caught. What a catch by Marner. Then it's loose. It's picked up by DJ McCullough. But I assume they're going to say it's incomplete. Or they're going to say it's caught and he was down. They're going to mark him down at the 9.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass, and the runner was down before the ball came out. First down, Hawaii.
So it is a catch down to the 9-yard line to pick up a 22.
Coming in off this little post pattern in there. Again, a big 6'6" guy against Cyrus, who's 5'10", and makes it tough. He's right there in position and just couldn't make the play.
Turner's in motion. He handles on the jet sweep. Turner is used in so many different ways, Danny. They use him in multiple packages. He's listed as a running back, but he's really an athlete.
Yeah, there's not much that he can't do, right? So he's lines up in the backfield. He'll take a snap in the quarterback underneath the center. He'll take it in shotgun formation. So there's a lot that he can do, and look for him. And as we're told, you know, for the game, it's like, I look for him to really break a big one, at least one play today.
Turner is a former collegiate quarterback. He was at Jacksonville University as a QB before transferring to Hawaii. He's in motion. They fake the jet sweep to him. Cordero has tons of time. Now he'll tuck it and run. And he's swarmed down by Michael Bowe Jr. from his money position. Bowe, second on the team in tackles this year.
Oh, that's a great job by Michael Bowe right there. The hard thing in that, Adam, is when the quarterback is running out of the pocket and he's coming down the line, you don't know if he's going to run the ball or if he's going to throw the ball. So as you see, he's coming down the line here. Michael Bowe does the right thing. He stretches it out. So that means he plays it soft and says, no, you have to make a decision. If you step my way, I'm coming to get you. And that's exactly what happened. And if he didn't, he was ready for the pass as well. That's a great job right there. Big play.
The Rainbow Warriors 4 for 18 last week on third down. Turner, the motion man. Cordero fakes it to him. He has Turner. He'll swing it out to him. Gets away from Ojo. And he has nowhere to go. So the Aggies hold on a third down. And they're going to force the Rainbow Warriors into a field goal try.
That is a great defensive stand right there. So you get them down here in the red zone and you force them to kick a field goal. They're still getting points, but you're keeping them out of the end zone. Here they let them wide open. It's like, fine, you can have that because that's not going to get you a touchdown or a first down. So the hardest thing to do is make an open field tackle. Lots of people there to help. That's a great job by that Aggie defense.
Wind behind the kicker, and it's off the upright and in. The iron is kind here tonight at Aggie Memorial. Shipley connects from 25 yards away, the sophomore from Liberty Hill, Texas. But that's a huge stand for the Aggies inside the 10-yard line. This hit the left upright and then pinballed in. So the kick is good barely for Shipley. Tyler Halverson handles the kickoffs for Hawaii. Matthew Shipley handles the place kicks and the punts. And with the wind behind him, Halverson boots it over the head of Juwan Price. That might be a possession that we talk about later on during the course of the game, Danny. This possession that just happened where the Aggie defense held Hawaii to 3.
And there were several good plays to highlight that too, right? Michael Bowe had a great play where he strung the quarterback out, didn't allow him anything, and made the play, and then an open field tackle to make the play. So let's see what Jonah can do. We need a few more points to get us going here.
Hawaii trying to avoid their 5th straight road loss. Slow start this year for the Rainbow Warriors. They are 1-3. Aggies 1-3 as well. But when you think of Hawaii, as we have a player injured right now for the Aggies, it looks like Mike Edwards, who's injured right now for the Aggies with the help of Dom Moreno. He's walking off on his own power. When you think Hawaii, Danny, you think a really good football program. They've been to 3 straight bowl games, but this has been an unusual slow start for the program this year.
Yeah, I agree. There's like rich heritage. They're a very, very proud program. You know, I talked to the running back coach, Matt Christian, and Matt, I asked him about it. He played against Hawaii, and I said, tell me about this program. Tell me about what you see. He said, that is a proud, very proud program, and they're tough to beat.
Hawaii coming off a New Mexico Bowl win a year ago during the pandemic year. Running back Omari Samuels bounces to the corner. Good open field tackle by Kai Kaneshiro, junior from Honolulu, who was outstanding last week against San Jose State.
Yeah, he was flying around the ball against San Jose State, and so Kai comes up here to support that. He doesn't make that tackle. Omari gets that corner. He's off to the races, so it's very close.
Aggies 3 rushing touchdowns last week after none in the first 3 games. 13 carries each last week for Samuels and Price. They fake it to Samuels, rolling out Johnson. Easy dump off. Tomas Whitford, his 3rd catch of the night. Tackle made by Muasau, about a yard shy of the first down marker.
You know, we saw this bootleg play last week that works very well. So you have everyone, I see on the screen that everyone goes one direction. The quarterback bootlegs out, and they sneak the tight end out there. Tomasin makes a great little catch and gets positive yards, very close to that first down marker.
These Hawaii linebackers can really move. Muasau, Isaiah Tufonga, Pine Pavihi. 3 main guys we'll talk about a lot tonight. 3rd and 1 for the Aggies. Empty backfield. Johnson may run it here. He did so earlier on 3rd and short. Design keeper. Johnson barreling forward. And he gets plenty for the first down. He picks up 2. He only needed 1, Danny.
So you get a motion guy in there. So the whole idea is to kind of trick the defense just a bit that says, look, we're gonna spread people out. I could dump the ball off very easily. So it spreads the defense out because they have to honor that, and that leaves that little short keeper for Jonah up the middle for the first down.
Johnson listed 238 pounds. He's from the Fresno area, Madera, California. His first full season in the program after transferring in from Fresno City College. And there is nowhere to go on the run.
Yeah, you know, saw a linebacker really spying that from the beginning, right? He saw it coming, and the Hawaii linebacker just started sneaking up, and as soon as the ball was snapped, he came into the hole, filled the gap. There's nowhere to go with that. That play was dead on the handoff.
Juwan Price was running the football there. Timeout called by Hawaii, their first timeout. Doug Martin used one earlier. 10-3 Rainbow Warriors late in quarter one here tonight, as we get a second look at the previous run by Price.
Yeah, and so there's nothing there. And we had a blocker. We have our tackle out there. Our guard actually was on there and should have picked him up, but he snuck through there. And with that, there's nowhere you can go.
One thing you always talk about when you're dealing with Hawaii, when it's a road game for them, the road travel. This is going to be their second longest road trip of the season. Only Wyoming is longer, 6,600 plus air miles away from home. They did come in a day early. They typically do that just to get their legs under them once again. The Aggies run it on 2nd and 11. This is Samuels, and he's taken down by Hawaii DN DeJuan Matthews, who is 3rd on the team in tackles this year.
So very congested middle right there, and it leaves our wideouts in a one-on-one position. And I think you look for Jonah to take a shot if you get in those one-on-one positions. This time they're in a little too deep zone, so you're not going to get away with it this time.
The Aggies need the 46. Johnson looking near side. He has Wyatt, and he overthrew him. Jared Wyatt was about a step or two in front of Cameron Lockridge. He was open, and Johnson just wasn't on target.
So it's one of those comeback routes, right? So he gets to the first down marker a little bit beyond and then comes back. Jared's got one of the best set of hands that the Aggies receiver have, and it just kind of sailed on Jonah a little bit. You think maybe being out just a bit kind of helps with that, because that's a long throw right there.
That could be, because when he's missed here tonight, Danny, he's missed high.
Yeah.
He's had the ball sail on him a few times, and that could certainly be the wrist, and also trying to knock off some rust after not playing the previous game and a half. Flags fly before Carlson sends it away. He's kicking into the wind.
False start, number 28, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That is Dylan Early on special teams, and when you're kicking into the wind, that really stings. Carlson already has the wind to play with, and now he's backed up 5 more yards. This could be huge for field position for Hawaii. Turner is back deep. He's a dangerous return man. Plays quarterback, running back, wide receiver, returns kicks and punts. It's a low kick for Carlson, probably a wise choice, and it takes a friendly Aggie bounce. Good idea by Josh Carlson. Well, that's like a golfer hitting a 2-iron under the wind, right, Danny?
I was thinking the same thing, is right. So the wind gets up, and so you take out your long iron, and you're going to keep it down near the ground and just hit it as hard as you can straight away, and that's exactly what he did, and he got a good favorable roll at it.
Turns out to be a 55-yard kick for Carlson into the wind, so Hawaii is pinned back deep into their own territory. The ball is placed at the 12-yard line. There's Matt Christian, the Aggie running backs coach. Like you said, Danny, he's played Hawaii a lot during his years.
Oh, I had a great talk with him, and I just love everything about him. He has just so much energy, and I think that's a guy that I would play for. If he was a coach, I would, and he said run into that wall, I would do it. He is that charismatic.
First down pass for Cordero as he steps up in the pocket. He's on target with Calvin Turner. He does so many things well. That is the 22nd catch this year for Turner, which leads Hawaii. He picks up 17.
Yeah, you can't leave Kaduro back there on wide open with lots of time to determine what he wants to do with the ball. So you see him right here, lots of blocking, good time, gets the ball across the middle.
Turner catches again. He's bumped out of bounds, but he picks up another first down. Back-to-back catches for Turner. This one goes for 10.
This is the end of the first quarter.
And that's the end of one quarter of play. Touchdown catch of 74 for Mardner. Field goal Shipley. Aggie field goal for Albertson. Quarter two comes up next. Tonight is Ag Day and Homecoming, presented by the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and New Mexico State University's College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences. Also brought to you in part by the New Mexico Beef Council. 6-yard run for Day Hunter to start quarter number two, Danny.
Yeah, that's tough up front. That's just our big guys lining up against your big guys and seeing who's tougher and who can get pads lower and create the hole or the gap. And well, that's tough right there.
Chevin Cordero, 6 for 6 for 143. The big 74-yard connection to Mardner to start the game for Hawaii. He'll throw here, and he was not on the same page as True Edwards, who had his back to him.
Yeah, Chris Ojo was about to put the leather to him if he didn't get rid of that ball in a hurry. So maybe it's a good thing they weren't on the same page, because Chris was coming off the right end, just smashing down.
3rd and 4 for Hawaii. Line to gain is the 50 at midfield. They're 0 for 1 on 3rd down tonight. Hunter, the running back. Tight end Caleb Phillips in motion right. Cordero throws it, and it is caught and then incomplete. Outstanding hand play after the initial catch. Cyrus Dumas able to break it up.
Wow. Talked about Cyrus in the open. On the top of your screen, you're kind of seeing an in route, kind of things they've already run before. So there's a 6'6" guy against a 5'10" guy. 6'6" guy, long arms, get up in there. But Dumas doesn't give up, right? So the important thing to note is that he didn't give up, and that the DBs are taught to pull and strip his arms away from the ball if he has it. It's exactly what he did. Great stop right there.
He's a playmaker, Danny, that's for sure. Late arrival in fall camp. Missed the first 3 games because of NCAA rules, so this is only his 2nd game of the season. Now Hawaii kicks into the wind, and Lawrence Dixon calls for a fair catch at the 22-yard line. 31-yard kick for Shipley.
Yeah, great stop by the defense right there, right? So anytime you can get off the field, it's still early, right, in the second quarter here. We have the wind. The wind doesn't look like a factor when you're looking at the screen right now, but it is blowing, and it does make a big difference.
Jonah Johnson, 6 for 9, 46 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Garcia Castaneda, motion man to the right. Johnson will throw on first down. High throw. Jared Wyatt hangs on as he was upended by Lockridge, and he picks up 5 yards on the catch. I don't know how he hung on.
I don't either, but we talked about the great hands. I've seen him. He made a one-handed catch at UNM. Let's see this one here. Gets up at the highest point. He knew something was happening. Oh, he got bent over. That's tough. But he hangs on to it, jumps up. That's a great job by Jarrett right there.
They'll give him 6, so it's 2nd down and 4. Johnson will swing it out, and it's deflected. Maybe a backwards pass. Hawaii is going to scoop it up. The officials are looking at each other, trying to figure out what the call should be. For now, they're going to call it a touchdown. Will it be a backward pass or a forward pass? We'll see. But right now, the call on the field is touchdown. The officials were looking at each other, trying to see if somebody would make a call on the field.
So here comes the pressure. We talked about the pressure. It's right there. And so now the whole the whole thing now is that pass backwards, and if it is, it's a live ball, and they could scoop it and score it. If it's forward, it's an incomplete pass. I can't tell, Adam.
It was scooped up by Lockridge, and right now it's a touchdown for Lockridge.
The ruling of a field of a backward pass recovered for Hawaii and run in for a touchdown is under further review.
What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, that's close right there. I think it was a forward pass. It looked like a forward pass the first time I saw it, but they weren't sure, so they let it play out like the officials should, and then they'll look at it in the booth and decide which way it is. It's Frazier coming with the pressure. We talked about how the pressure is coming, and quarterbacks need to read the pressure and decide what they're going to do with the ball quickly. Jonah made the right choice, Adam, right? So it's a read when he's coming off, and usually what you do is you throw the ball to where the pressure is coming from because he's vacating an area and it's wide open. So you can see Frazier here coming off the edge. There's the pressure out of the backfield. We have a wide open, and he just can't get the ball off. So let's take a look and see whether it's a forward pass, which would be incomplete.
Kudos to Hawaii defensively for continuing the play. They had a number of guys running after the football. Initially, it was Ote Baker who was rolling around on the turf. He could not grab it, and then Lockridge was Johnny on the spot to take it into the end zone. The call on the field is touchdown, so they need enough evidence to change the call on the field. Right now, it's touchdown.
So defensively, here's what you go through in practice every day. So you have a whistle drill, right? So your whistle drill is you run to the ball wherever the ball is until you hear a whistle. Once you hear the whistle, the play is dead. If there's no whistle, you keep running to the ball, and this is exactly what they did. They didn't hear a whistle.
Wow. That is a big change of events. So Hawaii leads 16-3, point after coming up. Matthew Shipley will kick it. And it is good. So a turnover for the Aggies 1 week after they committed 0. No turnovers a week ago. This is a big one that could really change the swing of this game. 17-3 Hawaii early on quarter 2. Adam Young, Danny Nee, Megan McCormick back with you on homecoming. It's also Ag Day. Great crowd in the student section tonight. Good weather as well, and it was 10-3. The Aggies had the football. Things can change quickly, can't they, Danny Nee?
Well, the momentum just swings from one side to the other. And the hard part with that last play is that the ruling on the field is a touchdown. So then you have to go back to the booth and decide, well, okay, is there enough evidence to say that it was forward as opposed to back? And evidently there wasn't enough. That's the tough part, is when they make the ruling one way, and then you have to prove it that it wasn't. I know Coach Martin was on the sideline, was not very happy. It makes it tough. So, yeah, momentum changes. So this is an important possession right here.
Scoop and score for Lockridge, and the Aggies will take a knee. That's Juwan Price. Probably a wise decision by him, and the Aggies will have the football back at the 25-yard line. Like you said, too, the play was there. Jonah Johnson just maybe waited a little bit too long to make the throw, which then was deflected. This is a big, physical, talented, fast defense for Hawaii. The decisions that maybe you could make last week against South Carolina State as an offense, you can't make this week. You can't make those mistakes. And now the Aggies find themselves in a 2-score hole. Johnson back to work. Running back, Juwan Price. Garcia Castaneda motions and then comes back near side of the TV screen. Run pass option, some time early for Johnson, and he throws it high again. It sailed on him again. He was trying to hook up with Garcia Castaneda.
Yeah, Isaiah's running that deep in route and in between a zone. They're in a zone, so Isaiah finds the zone between the linebacker, over the linebacker, I should say, and before the safety. And there's a zone right in there where he can sit down and that ball will be put in right there. But you have to throw it over the linebackers and before the safeties. In this case, it just sailed on him and he couldn't make the throw.
Rainbow Warriors only rush 3. Johnson has time across the middle. Cole Harity on the reception up to the 30-yard line. He picks up 5 yards on the catch.
Yeah, you know when the Aggie quarterbacks, whether it's Dino or it's Jonah, if they have enough time, the receivers will find an opening and sit down in there for a catch, right? In this case, they had lots of time to throw it, and Harity came across the middle there and was wide open and made a quick, easy catch.
On the ground so far, 2 carries Price, 5 for Samuels. Johnson's also run the ball 5 times. Johnson across the middle, on time, caught. Jared Wyatt into Rainbow Warriors territory, and he is dragged down from behind. They're going to call it a horse collar as well. The birthday boy turns 24. Big pickup on 3rd and 5.
Oh, man, that's a great play right there. So Jared coming out of the wide spot. There's a little cross pattern they run. Jared breaks across the middle, and it looks like a little kind of post pattern as he coming from a crossing receiver in front of an Aggie receiver. He breaks wide open and then just turns it on. Look him take care of the ball right here, too. That's a smart play right there by Jared. And that's the horse collar that you just talked about.
57-yard connection. Ball is down to the 7. This would be a heck of a response by the Aggie offense after a turnover, and now big playability shown by Jared Wyatt. 1st and goal from the 7. And a timeout is called by Aggie head coach.
Timeout, New Mexico State. It's their second of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
And offensive coordinator Doug Martin, who calls the plays and also serves as the head coach, did not like what he saw with 12 and change left here in quarter 2.
Well, it's certainly, and Coach Graham doesn't like what he saw the last play on the defensive side, and so they're always something you have to try to appease the coach as much as you can. Coach Martin actually it was a late call getting the play in, and so they looked like there was a confusion. We're running the game clock down, and so he had to call timeout.
Weststar is a proud supporter of Aggie Athletics. Find them online at weststarbank.com. Aggies trying to make this a 1-score game from the 7. Empty backfield for Jonah Johnson. Tight end Whitford in motion. Design run for Johnson. Tried left, now he'll try a right, and he's tripped up from behind. Corey Bethley got him from his safety spot, Danny.
It was a great idea. So the idea is spread everyone out. I have no backs in the backfield. That's a throwing situation, and so you spread them as wide as you can. You bring motion, but there was nothing there. Look at all of the white jerseys everywhere. Nothing to be had for extra yardage.
Johnson did find a way to get 1 yard on the play, so now the Aggies down to the 6. Running back Price. Johnson back to throw. Heavy front side pressure. It's caught by Downs, and he tumbles into the end zone. Johnson threw it with a man screaming in his face, and Robert Downs III picks up his 3rd touchdown catch in his Aggie career.
Well, I can't talk enough about what a great job Jonah did there. So he knew exactly what was happening. There was pressure on the edge, which means he's got to get the ball and make a quick pass immediately. So the ball is snapped, he makes the throw, takes a pop, and it was just a great catch by Downs.
That takes a lot of guts to stick in there when you know you're going to take a lick in moments and then make an accurate throw. And Downs was able to muscle his way into the end zone. His first touchdown catch this year. He had a pair in 2019. A young man from Anaheim, California, Robert Downs III. Aggies within a score. 6-yard touchdown catch for Downs the third. The Aggies within 7, 17-10 here at Aggie Memorial. Cool story regarding the family of one of the Aggie defensive backs. For more on that, Megan McCormick.
That's right, Adam. You know, a lot of new faces on the team this year, one of them being defensive back Torrin Union, and he's bringing some celebrity eyes onto this program. His aunt is famous actress Gabrielle Union, and his uncle D is Dwayne Wade. Now listen, while the attention he gets from their status is unwanted, the support is unwavering. You know, when Torrin moved here, he didn't have a place to live, and his aunt set him up with an Airbnb for 50 days, and his mom, Kelly, told me that she's always been supportive of Torrin. He needs to make the opportunity, but she will ensure that he has a chance to participate. Now tonight, Torrin has a lot of family support, about 17 people, including his mom, and his mom said, listen to this, if Torrin gets a pick 6, she will get a tattoo of his number, and she hates tattoos, so.
Thank you, Megan. We should know, too, that Megan and Torrin's mother, Kelly, they're BFFs. They talked a lot this week to get all the information down for that sideline report. Thank you to Megan. Thank you to the Union family. All sideline reports are brought to you by Memorial Medical Center, the official healthcare partner of Aggie Athletics. They're striking the Wonder Dog. Megan will have some more later on striking the Wonder Dog. This is a big night for striking. We don't want to spoil the news. Megan will talk about that later. And now the Aggie defense is back to work. 25-yard line is where the Rainbow Warriors will start, Danny.
Hey, it's get back on the board. Jared Wyatt, great catch, takes it down. We pick up a good read from Jonah to score. Now it's important that the defense does their part. They have to stand up, dig their heels in, and make the tackle at the point of contact here.
Aggie defense had 3 second-half interceptions last week. Flag flies.
Delay of game. Number 12, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that'll frustrate a head coach. Todd Graham in his second season with the Rainbow Warriors. Former head coach at Rice, Tulsa, Pitt, Arizona State, and now Hawaii. Delay of game to start. Will push back the Rainbow Warriors 5 yards. Cordero fakes the handoff, stays on his feet, and now he's taken down. It took a couple of Aggies. Chris Ojo with the finisher, but there were a number of guys in on that one, Danny.
Yeah, so the great call right here. So bring the pressure. You are in a 1 free, so we have a free safety that's free. Everyone else is man on man, and so you just have to cover your guy because we're bringing the house. Chris, lots of pressure. Again, he just barely missed last time. Not this time. Great job right there. Great blitz.
That injured Rainbow Warrior is left guard Micah Vanterpool, playing relatively close to home tonight. He's out of Phoenix, a senior. And he's down right now on the turf. We'll probably credit a half sack to Ojo and a half sack to Dasani Freeman on the previous play. Freeman was the initial man who slowed down Cordero, and then Ojo finished it off.
Hey, you know, I want to talk about the coverage, too. That last coverage, we had great coverage. Cordero was on a lot of pressure, right? Because a lot of pressure coming to him, but there was nowhere to go with the ball. So there was nothing he could do, really, but besides just eat it. And there's nowhere he could sneak out because we had the quarterback contained. So that's a great job all around by the defense.
Not much on the ground so far for Hawaii. Only 17 rushing yards, but 143 through the air for Cordero. Second down and a bunch. Low snap. They will run it on second down, and Day Hunter picks up 14 yards, and now it's going to be third down and short coming up. That's a big run for Hunter on second and long.
You know, sometimes this happens, Adam, and I'm not sure how it happens because it looked like everyone was frozen still, right? And so Jay just kind of found a way through there. So let's see. He takes the ball. It's kind of a draw. But everyone was had it up. There was no defensive guy to free up to get to him, and so he just picks his way through there for a big pickup.
3rd and 3, right back to Hunter, and this time he has nowhere to go. Ball pops loose, and the Aggies jump on it. Cyrus Dumas, the fumble recovery.
Cyrus, Johnny on the spot was there, but look at the pressure from the defense that actually forced that in there. Even if we don't get the pick up here, we had a great pressure defense set up and called. Know where he's going with the ball. So let's see the pressure coming in here. Here it is right here. We got linebackers. That's Nick Jackalone who's making it. There's Trevor in the middle of it. Someone pops it out there, and Cyrus is right there. Good things happen when you get to the pile.
Danny, it was hard to tell who it was forced by, but I think Lama Levea might have punched it out when the Aggies were trying to poke it loose. I think it was a final punch from Levea, and then a recovery by Dumas, who himself has now forced 2 turnovers in 2 games this year. Aggie offense back to work. Hurdling a defender is Jawan Price. He jumped over Cortez Davis, and he picked up 8.
So Jawan, you know, he's got the energy going right now. If he breaks free, breaks around the corner, he could just, you know, get us back into this thing. And here he is, bounces to the outside, big hole there. Defender tries to make the tackle, and Jawan just jumps over top.
Right back to Price, bounces to the corner, strong run, stays on his feet, and he's inside the 5-yard line. Jawan Price on this drive, Danny.
Oh, you know, in the open, we talked about Jawan Price, and we said, you know, if Jawan runs free from any alignment that he makes, if he lines up in a slot or if he's in the backfield, it doesn't matter. But when Jawan runs free, the Aggies' probability of win goes way up. In this case, he takes the handoff, breaks it to the outside, and does not give up. Tiptoes down the sidelines. That's a great run, puts us in great position to put some more points on the board.
His longest run of the season, it goes for 25 yards. Now you need to reward him. The Aggies will throw. It's caught. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda swarmed down at the 2-yard line. He only gets 2.
Well, these are tough yards, right? So this is tough rowing when you get in the red zone here. But 2 yards is very important because now you're closer and you can have a potential run here. So here we are. We're gonna block at the point of contact. Bring Isaiah in for a quick pass to him across the middle. Hawaii saw the thing happening, so there's no touchdown there. But he picks up 2 very important yards because now it changes the dynamics when you get a little closer.
Linebacker Eric Marsh in the game now offensively. Johnson trying to follow some blockers, and he is down to the 1.5, maybe. Either no gain or a half-yard there, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from about the 2.
Big call right here. So last play, we try to run some motion and fake like we're going to give it to the motion guy coming across there and sneak Jonah in there. So let's see right there. Oh, there's one guy. He just didn't fool the one guy. It never fails. There's always one guy that you don't fool that makes the tackle.
Pistol back is Jawan Price. Had a pair of rushing touchdowns a week ago. Now he motions to the right of Johnson. Also in motion, Garcia Castaneda. They throw it for him, and he can't make the catch. He was wide open.
Oh, Adam, that's tough right there.
Do you go for it, Danny?
I don't know that you do. I think you get points is what you want. And so here it is right here. He comes across the formation in motion, wide open. The hardest pass to complete is someone wide open because you take so much time, just like, do I put enough touch or do I zip it or what do I do? And it was just a little high, makes it tough. You get the points. I say get the points. What do you think?
Well, they're going to kick it, and it's Ethan Albertson who gets the points. Probably too early, I guess, Danny. It's about midway through quarter 2 where you're not trying to chase points at this point. You're just trying to take them when you can get them. The Aggies wanted 7. They settled for 3. They're within 4 here at Aggie Memorial. Todd Graham isn't happy with the turnover on the sidelines for Hawaii, but his defense stood tall there, Danny. They hold the Aggies to a field goal when the Aggies should have had 7.
Oh, they should have had 7 to tie this thing up, right? So we collect points no matter what it is, but it was the turnover that gave us the advantage there. So, you know, he's got a lot to be mad about because they were coming down, they were moving just a little bit, and they popped it out of there. Cyrus has great coverage. The defense, as you noted, is just playing lights out. Lots of enthusiasm.
After that first play from scrimmage for Hawaii, which was a 74-yard touchdown catch by Mardner, The defense has been really, really good ever since then. It's like it takes them a little while to get going. And it took them a few plays, but they have forced a turnover, and that is the first pickup of the tee for Wave the Wonder Dog. They just did the exchange, Danny. Striking the Wonder Dog is retiring, and Wave the Wonder Dog is now the tee retriever for the Aggies.
It's the high point for the Aggies when you score, is you get to see Wave or striking or whoever it is.
Megan McCormick will have more on the Wave the Wonder Dog future when she has her sideline report about that in half two. Chevin Cordero's cooled down now, and Kayla Mills might have picked it off. The officials will talk about it. Mills is 6'5", former wide receiver.
Field is an incomplete pass, second down.
Well, he went back to his wide receiver days, diving towards that one, just couldn't quite catch it.
Let's look at it again. You know, when the ball gets tipped up, nothing but bad things happen. And so when we get a chance, we'll take a peek again. But, I thought he had it from here, Adam. But here we go. Got to dig your heels in anyway, defense.
Cordero on second down. The Honolulu native will air it out towards the sideline. Heck of a catch by Turner. Adjusting where he was on the field initially. He did not have a good angle at it. Adjusted his body, made the catch for 26.
Yeah, so that's Caleb Mills. We have two Aggie defenders right there, and he's still managed to sneak away and make a great catch right there and a great throw. We tried to put pressure, couldn't get to Cordero, and he just allowed to sit back there and make that great catch.
Fourth catch so far for Turner here in half one. Hawai'i trying to get back on track offensively. Running back is Dedrick Parson. They fake it to him. Cordero rolling right, trying to escape three defenders. Catch is made by Parson. And a flag is thrown near the line of scrimmage.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 33, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, Adam, here's what happens when you have a quarterback that's running, and it could be an option that he could run the ball, or when he's breaking out or pass it, you end up sometimes getting your lineman downfield, and you get an ineligible player downfield. That's what that was.
Doug Martin, the Aggie head coach, talked a lot this week at his weekly press conference about getting more pressure on the opposing quarterback, and the Aggies have shown that from their D-line so far. Aggies show blitz here. Brohard coming over from the edge. Cordero run, gets by Lama Lavea, scampers inside the 40, inside the 30, flag flies, and Cordero is pushed out of bounds inside the red zone.
That was just a good read by Cordero. There's nothing else we could say about it. We end up moving to a man coverage. You have man free, so you have a free safety that's free, but everyone else is in man. And he just, as everyone was in the pattern, he was actually able to find a seam. Since everyone is covered and they're deep, it leaves no one in the middle. So there it is right here. Everyone's covered. No one's in the middle because everyone's being accounted for.
There's no foul on the play.
Quarterback.
First down,
A
Hawaii.
running quarterback is the toughest thing to figure out how to keep track of.
The officials pick up the flag. So no flag on the play, as you heard from the referee tonight, Derek Anderson. And Cordero in this Rainbow Warriors offense inside the 20 down to the 19. That was a 35-yard explosion on the run by the QB Cordero. Out of St. Louis School in Honolulu. Running back is Parson to his left. Cordero with time. He throws, and it's batted away. Guess who? The playmaker, Cyrus Dumas, out of Columbus, Mississippi.
Yeah, you know, I really like this play because Cyrus sat back there in coverage and read the quarterback. And there's one thing I kind of was looking at when I was watching all the different plays that happen, is sometimes Cordero ends up looking at the guy he's throwing to here. So you can see as you see that play, He just has one eye on one guy the whole time, and Cyrus saw that. So as soon as he released the ball, Cyrus broke on the ball and knocked it out.
2nd down and 10 for the Rainbow Warriors. They fake it to Parson, front side pressure, and it's picked off. Cyrus Dumas, his 2nd interception in as many weeks, and he has forced a pair of turnovers in this game tonight. What a playmaker.
Well, Cyrus Dumas, what a great job. You know, you get around the ball, good things happen. Look at him getting the crowd going. I love it, man. I love to see the energy. And it starts with the pressure on the quarterback. We get pressure on the quarterback.
The field is an interception.
Nothing good happens when it's
First
tipped
down
in
to
the air.
Mexico
That's the
State.
tip drill. Cyrus grabs that ball and just hauls it back there. That's a great job by the defense. That is hit 2 great games. Keep it going. We got the whole rest of the game here, Cyrus. Keep us rolling, man.
And he's a pro because when he forces a turnover, Danny, he always finds one of the cameras on the field. Said hello to his mama back in Mississippi last week.
Oh, I love that.
16 yards on the interception returned by Dumas. 2 games this year, he has forced 3 turnovers, 2 of them tonight. Omari Samuels upended by Corey Bethley. And we'll take a look again at the interception by Dumas.
Yeah, so here's the pick. So Coach talked about in his press conference about, I need more pressure, I need more pressure. He got more pressure, and that was a pressure that created an opportunity because the player wasn't ready to receive the ball. It popped it in the air. Cyrus was the opportune guy there to take care of it for the Aggies.
Samuels got 4 yards on the previous run. He hops, skips, and he jumps. About a half yard shy of the marker. They'll give him 5 inches right there, and he's going to be just short of the first down, but that was a quality run.
It was. These running backs have a lot of passion. We talked about Matt and what a great motivator he is, but he said these running backs, I do not have to motivate them. They come motivated every single day, and they push each other, and they're tough.
2 tight ends set. Tyler Roebuck is leading the charge there, 45 in crimson on the left side of the formation. And the Aggies get 2 yards to move the chains.
You know, they say that your players always kind of assume the personality of their coach. You know, Matt Christian was a tough quarterback. I can't say enough great things about the things that he did on his toughness. And those running backs are showing it today. Jumping over guys, just doing a great job.
The Aggies are driving here, looking for a go-ahead score after the Dumas interception. Under 5 left in quarter 2. Jonah Johnson looking deep, and he was not on the same page as Wyatt. Lockridge got his hand on it, but couldn't snatch it. The Aggie offensive line was looking for something right there, but
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of a call they were looking for, Danny.
Yeah. You know, earlier I mentioned Cordero. Sometimes we'll look at a receiver and just kind of get focused in on that. In this case, we did the same thing here. You see Jonah right there. He's looking at the guy the whole time. That's who he's going to no matter what. In that case, they weren't on the same page. There was no chemistry there, and there was nothing he could do with it. That was great coverage.
Wyatt had a 57-yard catch earlier in the game. Front side pressure, good dump off. Catch is made by Tomas Whitford. Extra yards after the catch, and he'll move the chains into Rainbow Warriors territory.
Oh, I love tight end play. The tight end play is the best in college football because, in the pros too, but you have guys that can block or they can release. And so in this case, he blocked, chipped him, they call it, and released out there. Great read by Jonah because the pressure's coming, but there's no one left. So he throws it where the pressure came from. Tomas gets it, gets some extra yardage.
That's when it helps to be 6'3". You can throw it over the defender like Johnson did. Omari Samuels runs left side. That's his 8th carry. He gets 2 yards on the run.
Yeah, so that was a great read by Jonah right there. He's had great reads, and one time is that if they're looking and you try to get it over someone and he's in your face, sometimes it makes it tough. That's what the one pick 6 was that he gave up, or a scoop and score. In this case, he got the ball out before the defender had a chance to get all the way to him. See what he's got now.
Under 4 left in quarter 2. Ball is at the 40. Price came in for Samuels. Johnson throws it, caught. Jared Wyatt's been a busy man tonight on his birthday. That is catch number 4 for 74 yards. He gets a dozen on this catch.
Oh, Jarrett's doing a great job from Wiley, Texas. He's got great hands running that little post pattern in there. Great read by Jonah to get him to the ball right away.
Give is to Price. Stiff arms a defender, and he's dragged out of bounds by Lewis Sal, the linebacker from Eva Beach, Oahu.
How about that determination? Even we've run this play several times, and so here's what the coaches will do. They'll continue to run the play. If they get good positive yardage, then I'm going to run it. I'm going to keep running it until you shut it down. In this case, they were there. They were ready for it, but Juwan, all of that was on him. The stiff arm, extra yardage, the determination. Great job by Juwan.
Second down and 6. Tight end Whitford in motion. Johnson lobs it too far. Garcia Castaneda, the intended receiver, and once again, Danny, when he's missing tonight, he's sailing the ball over the receiver's head.
Oh, that's tough right there, because that's 6, Adam, right there. He missed it. Isaiah was there. Isaiah knows it too. He's kind of irritated. I mean, it's easier to say up here too. It's like, oh, he missed it long. He knows he missed it long, and so now you got to come back to it or something similar. And that's the tough thing about being a quarterback, is that you have to forget that last play, even though it's like, well, okay, maybe I sailed it. You got to let it go. You got to move on from here
It's their
because
second
we
of the
need
half.
points.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, earlier the Aggies could not get 7 when they really needed 7. You don't want to settle for 3 once again, where this drive's been so good. And the Aggies hoping it does not stall with 3rd and 6 coming up. Aggies 5 for 9 on 3rd down. Hawaii 0 for 3, which makes Hawaii 4 for 21 on 3rd down in their previous 2 weeks. Bosque Brewing Company is a proud supporter of Aggie Athletics. The Aggies need the 18-yard line. That is the line to gain. Johnson with time, throws it, caught again, Jared Wyatt, and he hangs on again. He's got some sticky stuff on those gloves tonight.
Oh, man, he's bringing it all down tonight for sure, anything close. And it really starts with that offensive line. So those big bubbas up front were giving Jonah plenty of time. He was sitting back there, and you saw him canvas the whole downfield from left to right. And watch Jonah. He looks left, and he'll look right. He doesn't see anything. He sees lots of people being covered. Finally, Jared breaks open across the middle.
Amari Samuels ducks and then dives towards the 10-yard line. They'll mark him down there after he picks up 2. Aggie running backs have been busy tonight. Healthy dose of Samuels, healthy dose of Price. Second down and 8 from the 10. Running back Samuels. Downs in motion. And Johnson will throw it into the end zone. It's deflected, and it falls down harmlessly. And Isaiah Garcia Castaneda feels like there was a little extra contact there in the end zone.
Yeah, that's just great defense right there. So everyone looks like they're covered. There's nothing he could do with the ball, and so he made a right choice across the middle. He didn't get it up high, didn't sail it, kept it down low. But that was just good defense right there. And the pressure was on. The pressure was coming. And you can expect the pressure to come again.
Line to gain is the 2. The Aggies were great in the red zone a week ago. They've struggled so far in the red zone tonight. Johnson back to throw. Caught by Jared Wyatt. And the Aggies will have to kick again.
Yeah, pressure. So we knew the pressure was coming, so it had to be something quick, and he just couldn't get the ball off. We didn't have anyone to pick up additional blitzers in there, so that makes it tough. And here it is right here. So everyone is up front there. You get a late blitzing linebacker, and we just didn't have anyone left to pick it up.
29-yard try for Albertson, looking for his 3rd make of the night to bring the Aggies within 1. Out of the hold of Josh Carlson. And it's no good. Well, Danny, you look at these previous 2 possessions now. especially the last one. You should have got 7. This one wasn't quite like the previous offensive possession, but now you look at this and you have 3 points to show for the previous 2 possessions where you easily could have had 14.
Yeah, it's a chip shot. We got to get those. That's got to be money right there on the kick. But you get a turnover, and so it's important to convert the turnover into points, because what happens in addition to helping your score, it really kind of demoralizes the opposing team, because they're thinking, oh, it's down, but now they got away. They escape one, and so now here they come back with 44 seconds to see if they can get in field goal range or score.
And now you're putting even more pressure on your defense, which has forced a couple of turnovers and been really good since the first play of the game. Chevin Cordero will run with it. Chris Ojo clips him, and Cordero out of bounds, but the ball came loose. He was out of bounds first, and they'll mark him out there with 33 seconds left to go. Need to find a way to keep the Rainbow Warriors off the scoreboard the rest of this half.
And so you're in prevent defense, which means you're really backed. You have everyone back, because you don't want anything to bleed deep into scoring territory, and you're rushing only 3, so that leaves no one to watch the quarterback.
Cordero back to throw, and the pass is caught on a dive. That is Jonah Pinoque, sophomore from Honolulu, his 4th catch this year. Hawaii only has 1 timeout to play with. They're inside Aggie territory. Empty backfield, pressure comes. Cordero can't get away as Giacalone got him down from behind.
Man, that's huge right there. I'm leaning forward up here in the booth, Adam. I'm leaning forward like I'm going to help him. That's a great job by Nick on the late blitz coming in here. So let's see Nick right there trying to just hang on and pull him down. Just hold on. Great job.
So now you're at the 47. No timeouts to play with. 7 seconds left. Not a good situation here for Hawaii. Their kicker is Matthew Shipley. His long this year is 48. He's only attempted 4 field goals all year.
So here's the one right there. That's the previous play that we're looking at, that late blitz by Nick, and just a great job reaching out and just holding on. 7 seconds. I don't know. Plays are 4 seconds long, Adam, maybe a little longer or shorter depending on how quick you execute them. So can you get off 2? I don't know that you can even throw the ball down, get up there and spike it. I just don't think there's enough time.
Hawaii led 10-3 after 1 quarter. Got the ball to start quarter 2. Aggie defense has made a lot of plays in this second quarter. Missed chances offensively as the Aggies still trailing in the game. Megan McCormick will chat with Coach right before halftime, and I'm sure he's going to say missed opportunities. We should be winning this football game. Aggie defense looking for a strong finish to the half with 7 seconds left and no timeouts for the Rainbow Warriors. From the 47. Three-man rush. Caught by Pinoque, and he gets out of bounds with 1 second left. So the Rainbow Warriors can have a 50-plus yard field goal try if they want to, but no sign of Shipley yet.
Into the wind, and it felt like it's just starting to kick up.
I'm going to mark it at the 40, so this would have been a 57-yarder into the wind, no shot. So one more play to finish off the half. Cordero airs it out towards the end zone, and it is tipped away out of bounds. DJ McCullough got his big right paw on it. Well, Danny, missed chances offensively, but we have a really good second half in store.
We have a good second half, and Adam, let me just say, defensively, I thought that the guys played well. We missed some things on the offense. I'll get that. Here's the last play right here. It's just bombs away, but look at the pressure we're getting on too. Donovan King up there on pressure. Does that DJ knock that away? That's a great job.
Megan McCormick is standing by with Coach.
Putting Jonah in is going to give your team the best chance at winning this game. What do you think of his performance in the first half?
He's played well. I mean, he's missed 2 throws that we'd like to have back, but, you know, he's handling pressure really well, and his running ability is helping us.
Huge defensive stop in the first quarter, forced fumble recovery by Dumas, and an interception. How happy are you with the defense?
Yeah, turnover margin's key, and we got to win that in the second half to have a chance here.
Good luck, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Megan. It is 17-13. Halftime comes your way next on Homecoming from Aggie Memorial. Oliver Sukup, an Aggie alum, played on some good Aggie teams back in the day. Fair catch is called for by the up man for Hawai'i. That is Stephen Fiso. The kick was into the wind. The wind is playing a role in this game tonight. And there is Wave the Wonder Dog. Once again, we keep on teasing it. Megan McCormick will have more on that
Offside,
later on during the half.
5 of the kicking team. A 5-yard penalty will be added in the
So Adam,
25-yard line.
don't have
First
the
down.
win now, but fourth quarter we're going to have the win. So this gives
Correction.
Hawaii a
Number
chance to
15.
throw the ball, right? So kick the ball, and it's a decent little gusting win, and so it could make a little bit of a difference, but it sets us up nicely for a fourth quarter.
Ball at the 30, offsides was called on the Aggies on the kick. Chevin Cordero, 9 for 15 for 191, a touchdown and a pick in the first half play. 7 touchdowns, 6 picks on the year, and he is blindsided by Chris Ojo. His team best 3rd sack of the season.
Chris Ojo coming off the edge. We've called him 2 or 3 times. A couple times he couldn't get there, but a couple times he has. Here it is off the edge. Here's what they're doing. They're coming back saying, you know what, I'll catch him flat in the third quarter, and I'll just throw this ball deep for a one-on-one 50-50 ball, as they call it, but not if there's pressure coming from your backside. Nice job, Chris. Good call, Coach.
Chris Ojo leads the Aggies in sacks and tackles for loss this year. Transfer from Eastern Washington, and Cordero can't get away. Donovan King forced a fumble. It's Aggie football.
Rolling off the field as the runner was down. 3rd down, Hawaii.
Oh, they're going to call it down. Donovan King never giving up. You know, that's the thing about this Aggie team, that is, no matter what the record is, they're not giving up. Here they come from the backside. You see 26 giving chase, and he pulled him down, stretches his arms out there and just pulls him down. And there's the ball. It pops out, but they called it down. More importantly, Donovan King on the second sack. That's the second one for the Aggies. Actually, it's our 3rd sack of the night. Let's see what they can dial up this time.
Rainbow Warriors 0 for 4 on 3rd down. Donovan King trying to get to Cordero. Devin Bell gets to him. Throw is caught by Smart at midfield. And the Rainbow Warriors convert on 3rd and 25.
That hurts so bad, Adam, on so many different levels, because you pressure the quarterback, you get in a 3rd and forever, and there's only one thing they can do is bomb the ball deep. You have deep coverage back there. You see Caleb Mills back there, Nick Jackalone, and he sees someone off to the far left of the screen. There he is, comes open, pops wide open. He's just standing there by himself. Easy throw.
Heck of a throw there for Cordero. They get 37. They needed 25. Ojo again. He gets blocked, though. And the pass is in and out of the hands of Turner.
So even though Ojo got blocked, do you think it kind of affected him? I think it did a little bit, because after a while you start to hear footsteps, as they say, right? So Chris has had a lot of pressure. I think it kind of affected his throw.
There's a look at Dalton Bowles in the Aggie secondary. Sophomore safety from Roswell, New Mexico. Played his JUCO ball at Nimi. 2nd down and 10 for Hawaii. Cordero whistles it far side, caught. Tackle made immediately by McCullough. Hauled in by Bowens, his first catch of the season. He gets 6.
Yeah, DJ's off just a little bit, but and so they're going to take that. So it's like, if you want to play off a little, we're just going to take what little yardage you give us. DJ quick to the ball to come screaming up on coverage, and made a great tackle in open field. Great job.
Third down, 4 yards to go. Rainbow Warriors need the 39-yard line. Cordero fires, and it is almost intercepted. Dalton Bowles almost picked up his second interception of the season.
I see Cordero kind of looking at where he's going with the ball, and so he's looking at the guy. He's looking across the middle. He's staring him down, and as soon as he does, this time it's Dalton that tries to jump it and just almost had it.
Looks like Hawaii will go for it on 4th and 4. They've gone for it a bunch this year, 3 for 10 this year on 4th down. Well, they converted on 3rd and 25 moments ago, so they must feel like they can get the 4 yards needed right here. And the Rainbow Warriors don't like what they see. So a timeout is called by Hawaii. Their offensive coordinator is Bo Graham, the son of the head coach, Todd Graham.
Timeout, Hawaii. It's their first of the half.
I just couldn't tell if they were going to come out and actually run a play or if they were just going to come out there and try to draw them off sides with some long count or something.
We'll see if they still go for it. 4th and 4 coming up. They need the Aggie 39-yard line. Hunter, the running back, stacked up to the right behind the tight end Phillips. And now Cordero will pooch it. And it's into the end zone. They do some wacky stuff, Danny, don't they? They do a lot of different things with Turner, and here Cordero pooches it, and the Aggies will have the ball at the 20-yard line.
Well, I think it's one of those things, Adam, where they come to the line of scrimmage and you have a couple plays in mind. So if you come out in a certain defense, you may say, okay, let's look at that defense. If it's to our advantage, we run the play. If they come back and the defense is not set up where we think we can take advantage of it, let's just kick the ball away. Just pooch it down the field, not a big deal. Seems like a lot for not much, right? But here we go.
3 minutes into half 2, the Aggies with a chance to take a lead. Need to capitalize on chances, could not do so late in that first half. And nothing's doing here on the run. Immediately met by Matthews was Samuels.
Yeah, I think our tight end Tomas Whitford just kind of missed a block right in front of him that he just snuck in underneath him and made a great tackle on there.
Loss of 2 for Omari Samuels. Team high 10 carries for Omari. Juwan Price has really run the ball well tonight. Johnson with time to throw, throws it underneath, a crossing route to Garcia Castaneda. Only his second catch. It goes for 4. He's been targeted a bunch, Danny, but he's not been on the same page as Johnson the majority of the game.
And we missed a TD that could have been to him as well, but certainly I think Isaiah, they're trying to keep an eye on him as well and make sure they know where I would, because he's very elusive and he can hurt you in a hurry.
The Aggies get 2 of those yards back. 3rd and 8. NM State 6 for 11 on 3rd down. Johnson, indecisive, tosses to Samuels. And they're going to mark him a yard shy of a first down.
Oh, that was so close. Wasn't that so close? Jonah keeping the play alive with his legs. He scrambles, sees Omari out there, and it's like, I can either run for it. I thought Jonah was going to run for it, or I can just dump it off to you and let you get after it. And they dumped it off, and Omari was he stepped out right there. That's what they're saying. Oh, that's so close, Adam.
Not the position of the field, of course, where you would go for it on 4th and 1. So now Josh Carlson will punt into the wind. Had a 50-plus yard punt earlier when he kicked it low. We'll see if he does the rugby-style kick again. And this one is a little bit higher into the wind. Looking for a good bounce. He will get a decent bounce, and it will roll at the 31. And that's where Cordero in this Rainbow Warriors offense will start after a 41-yard punt for Carlson. We're back with you here at Aggie Memorial. Adam Young, Danny Need, Megan McCormick. We've seen a lot of striking the wonder dog tonight. We sent it down to the field to Megan.
That's right, Adam. You know, anyone who's come to Aggie Memorial Stadium is familiar with striking the tee-fetching dog. Now, he's retired officially, handing the torch, or the tee, I should say, to his little brother, Wave. Now, is it a little bittersweet for you? Striking's been doing it for 9 years.
It sure is, but you know, he's 13 years old. I thought he had a good run at it, and it was time to give another dog a try.
Now, how have you and striking prepared Wave for this big responsibility?
Oh, we have to practice. This is really hard coming out of 18 months of COVID, not being around people, so we did exposure all the time. Doug Martin let us go to practice, and that really helped a lot.
That's awesome. Now, last question. Why is this tradition so cool, so important to carry on?
Well, you know, Border Collie's a classic ag dog, and this is an ag school, so, you know, I think it's a good fit for everyone.
Thank you so much, Steve Stohai. You guys welcome Wave, the new dog.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Pass is complete to Turner, and he's pushed out of bounds by Jackalone and Bulls. Check that. That was Brohart and Dumas over there on the outside, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for Hawaii. A changing of the guard, striking the Wonder Dog, and now his little brother Wave will be retrieving the tee for the future. Check that, it's 3rd and 2, not 2nd and 6, and whistle blows, flag flies.
False start.
Oh, that's a big penalty right there.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's
So let's see
on
who
right
jumped.
tackle, Gene Pryor.
Yep, he just got a little bit of jump in there, but boy, Nick was shot out of a cannon there, right? He came screaming across there. That's tough. That group up there has done really good. Garrett Bishop had a great tackle right before, a couple plays right before that. Big play right here.
3rd and 7 for Hawaii. Really struggling on 3rd down, and the Aggie defense is saying they jumped.
False start. Number 61. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Danny, that's on Honolulu native Iliki Tanuvasa, and this is a very experienced offensive line making a lot of mistakes.
It is, and part of that, Adam, I believe, is because the Aggies are moving around. You see them now coming out making adjustments where they make alignment, and then and so I think Justin Segura saw someone jump. But what they'll do is they'll jump around from left to right and try to move into a position, and that kind of makes the offensive line jump.
Hawaii converted on 3rd and 25 earlier. This is 3rd and 12, and it's nowhere close to Mardner, who hauled in a 74-yard touchdown catch earlier. This defense, I think we're onto something here, Danny.
I think we are, and this time we had help over top too, and so we had, I think that was Chris Bell that was over the top helping Cyrus with that big 6'6" receiver, what they're trying to put one-on-one, and said, let's put the 6'6" guy against the 5'10" guy. It's a 50-50 ball. Well, with Bell coming over top, it gives us added advantage, but Cyrus is standing his own at 5'10". He's doing a great job out there.
Shipley will kick with the wind behind him. Cyrus Dumas is full of energy there on the Aggie sideline. Lawrence Dixon, the return man, and he grabs it near his shoes after muffing it initially. Fortunately for the Aggies, it didn't hang in the air very long, so the special teams unit for the Rainbow Warriors not standing alongside Dixon. 46-yard punt, 7-yard return for Dixon. Well, it's starting to drizzle here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. That could get interesting. 17-13 was our score at halftime. It still stands with 8:40 left here in quarter number 3. It rained this morning here in the Mesilla Valley. Did not rain this afternoon. It's been a cloudy day, a little windy as well, and it's a little cool. There's a look at Jared Wyatt, who's had a career day on his birthday, turning 24 today. 6 catches, 86 yards for the Wiley, Texas native. Wiley, a suburb of Dallas. Jared's a grad student. Transferred in from Navarro College. He's been great. Handoff goes to Juwan Price, who squeezes through a hole and gets past the 40 up to the 41. He gets 8 yards on the carry.
So you put the wind out there, you put a little rain out there, so a lot of things can happen. Now, it's raining on both sides of the field. But does it change their play calls a bit? Maybe, because maybe you don't make that really long throw. Maybe you just hand it off more and just try to eat up the clock.
The Aggies will hand it off here to Juwan Price. Forward progress to the 41, so no gain on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Both offenses have gone a little stagnant. 7 carries, 60 yards for Juwan Price in the game out of Peoria High School in Peoria, Arizona. Only a redshirt freshman. Team leader in carries, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns for the year. Empty backfield for Jonah Johnson, who's run it himself in this scenario numerous times tonight. They're going to stick with him. He runs off left tackle, and Jonah Johnson rumbles his way into Rainbow Warriors territory.
Having a dual threat quarterback is very tough because everyone gets accounted for except for the quarterback. And in this case, they're jammed in the middle thinking run, run, run all day long. And Jonah just picks his way through there. He sees nothing up front and just sneaks around the side there for that first down.
He runs it for 11, which matches his longest run of the season. Pistol back is Price. And a flag flies before the snap.
False start, number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Danny, I was just about to say, too, Sage Dockstader did such a good job on that previous run for Johnson. That's the big left tackle from Canada. 6'7", 344, making his 42nd career start.
You see him right there. He's the big guy in the middle there next to 85. I didn't see the move, but evidently he did move.
Johnson will tuck it and run. Has some running room up the middle, and he slides near the 40. They're going to say that he's down at the 42.
So a lot of things going on, a lot of people in coverage, right, in running patterns, and they're being covered with nothing open. The open was in the middle where it was nowhere there, and he just took the ball and said, I'm going to get whatever yards I can. Puts us in a good 2nd down situation.
Second straight 11-yard run for Johnson. He will hand it off here to Juwan Price. Forward progress for Price up to the 41. He only gets 1 yard. It's going to be 3rd down and short again.
Yeah, so getting behind Sage Dockstader, he's one of the better linemen up there, and so let's just run off tackle and see what's there. Sage gets his guy, but it's a backer that fills the gap because he sees the gaping hole, and he just couldn't get past the linebacker.
Johnson's been running on 3rd and short tonight, so maybe you can catch the Rainbow Warriors off guard and throw it here on a 3rd and 3. And here comes another flag. First half, not a lot of penalties, a lot here in half 2.
False start, number 69, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It was left tackle Sage Dockstader earlier, right tackle Dora O'Mary, grad transfer from Houston Baptist on this penalty. The rain's really coming down now.
So you're going to look at that right tackle right there. See him, he just got a little jump quicker than everyone else, and they caught him.
So it's 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 3 with the rain falling here on the turf. And Johnson loses the football. It is scooped up by Corey Bethley. 2nd turnover, and they've been unusual, unique turnovers for the Aggies. Not interceptions. This one a fumble after a backward pass earlier.
Yeah, so part of it, the keys was having good reads, reading and knowing that there's lots of pressure and you got to decide what you're going to do with the ball. There was nothing there, no one open, and he just got pressure from the backside that he didn't see, and they knocked the ball loose and scooped it up for the fumble. That's a tough one right there.
You can see in that replay, Corey Bethley just pretty much slapped it out of the hand of Jonah Johnson. So 2 fumbles, and that's been the 2 turnovers for the Aggies offensively. Good field position here at the 38-yard line for Hawai'i. Their offense has really struggled the previous 2 quarters, and the catch is made on the out route. That's Nick Mardner. That's catch number 3 for him for 17, and he is over 100 yards once again. He's been averaging.
So lots of pressure, so we see Nick coming in for the pressure. They keep the tight end in, so one of the adjustments they're making is that we've been able to get to the quarterback with Chris Ojo and Nick, and so they kept extra in.
Parson on the run. Mardner averaging 101 receiving yards per game in his previous 3. 3-yard carry there for Parson.
Timeout on the field for an injury.
Injured player down right now for Hawaii. That is left tackle Elm Manning, making his 39th career start tonight for the Rainbow Warriors. He's out of Glendale, Arizona. Tips, Danny, go back to your playing days when you're playing in rain.
Yeah, try to keep your hands dry. So that's
Yeah,
the
right?
biggest thing, right? So make sure you're as dry as you can be. The thing is that it rings on both sides. So are they going to? Is it going to be a slick ball? It is for both sides. Let's see what happens here. I just didn't see it, but it looks like maybe someone rolled up on his leg.
2nd down and 6 for Hawaii. Donovan King right there to wrap up. Dedrick Parson, the transfer from Howard.
You know,
Loss of 1.
It's a read option, and here's the thing: it's a give. But the nice thing is, at the point of contact right there, Donovan King comes down there and wraps both feet, so there's nothing additional, no additional yards gained after that first contact. That's just a great job right there by Donovan King.
3rd and 7. Turner in motion. Cordero looking left. He throws left to Turner. And he has enough for a first down before he's pushed out by Trevor Brohar.
Yeah, Turner gets everywhere. He'll line up in the H-back, running back. He returns kicks. He does everything. And so he just snuck out. No one could keep an eye on him and got that first down.
Good job of knowing where the first down marker is. He needed 7. He got 7. And this might be a false start again on Hawaii.
False start, number 61, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That goes against Iliki Tanuvasa Jr. from Honolulu, transfer from Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, so they like going up-tempo, and this is a chance then for Hawaii to go up-tempo, and they were trying to just hurry up, but it just wasn't coordinated.
Cordero will put Parson in motion out wide. Only 1 receiver left, and it's caught by Mardner. So 3 receivers, might have even been 4 on the right side, and they wanted to single out Mardner there on the left side of the field.
They did. They haven't given up on him, and it's a 6-6 against the 5'10 defensive back there. He does a little stop route, comes up in there. Cyrus came up quickly on him and just made the tackle immediately.
Rainbow Warriors down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. Front side pressure, dangerous shovel toss. It was caught by Parson. That goes as a pass, but that's dangerous there at the 4-yard line.
It is, but then if he misses it, it's an incomplete pass. But there's a lot that could happen that someone else could tip it up and get it to you. Nick had enough sense to say the guy's got the ball. He was being blocked, but he rolled off him to make the tackle.
They're trying to sneak it in. No signal yet. And now we get one. Touchdown, Hawaii. Cordero came out of the
Ruling
pile
on the
without
field
the football.
is a touchdown. Okay, we're going to be watching.
And Cordero might have also been poked there at the bottom of the pile as he was talking to the official after the play.
It's just a quarterback sneak. This is the most efficient play to get up there, especially when you got a big, strong quarterback that can just push in there or jump over top.
So It's a 1-yard touchdown run for Cordero. And now on for the point after is Shipley. And he's able to extend the lead for the Rainbow Warriors to 24-13. It's been a game of missed opportunities for the Aggies offensively. Hawai'i takes advantage here of a fumble by Jonah Johnson. They turn it into a 1-yard touchdown run for Cordero. 7 plays, 38 yards, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And now the Aggies behind the 8 ball a bit, Danny. They've had some chances to have go-ahead touchdowns, unable to capitalize, but now they trail by 11.
Yeah, so there's a couple extra points we may have left on the board. There's the replay of the quarterback jump push into the end zone for the touchdown. Puts Aggies behind just a bit, so now the offense has to get back to work. Now they can move the ball and they can score. They can throw the ball. Even if it's a rain, it's not a driving rain, so they can get it out there. Hawai'i threw the ball quite well, so should we. We should be able to do that. And we got to take care of the football, right? So you know they're going to continue to they're going to come after Jonah because they've had success doing that, Adam. So they got to be ready for that. Jonah's got to be looking for that hot route or the quick matchup as soon as possible.
Turning into a little bit of a nasty night as the rain picks up and some of the fans are trying to duck for cover. Not sure a lot of folks brought umbrellas tonight. There was a chance of rain, but it was only about 20-25%. And now the wind is blowing and the rain is falling as heavy as it has all night. Can't worry about that, though. The Aggies here in the final 2 and change of this third quarter trying to get the offense back on track. Mid-60s, it's a little cool as well, and the wind doesn't help at 11 miles per hour. Jonah Johnson back in at quarterback. The Aggies will throw on first down, and he throws it over the head of Omari Samuels. It's going to be hard to throw right now. Jonah has a towel in his back pocket, but not sure how much that will help.
Yeah, it's going to make it very tough. That one, it looks like it kind of just got away from the two, just drifted up a little bit. And so, yeah, it makes it tough. But here's the thing. They did it training on both sides, and Hawai'i was able to move the football, throwing it in the rain. So should we, even though they got the wind in your face.
Johnson looking to throw again. He throws it high out of the reach of Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. So he continues to miss high when he does miss. His throws have sailed a number of times tonight.
Now this second half he's come out and it just doesn't look like he has the rhythm that was there before, and maybe the rain is affecting him a little bit more.
.71 rushing yards, as you see right there for the Aggies between Samuels, Price, and the quarterback Johnson. 3rd down and 10. Bethley whiffs. Johnson still on his feet, trying to get enough for the first down. He pushes the pile. Let's see where they mark him out. And it looks like he got 10 yards, Danny. Good enough for the first down.
Yeah,
that's going to move the sticks.
Man, that's a good job by him right there. I was thinking throw the ball, because it looks like there was someone that was in the open there, but he felt like he could run it for a first down. But let's see. He scrambles it to keep it alive. Lots of room there. And he just bulldozes and knows where that first down marker is without a doubt. Just pushes for it. That's a great job by Jonah to keep it alive.
Now they'll give it to Omari Samuels, who charges straight ahead. He's tackled by Bethley after picking up 5 yards. The rain would not be as bad if it wasn't windy. That 11-mile-per-hour wind is blowing the rain around. 1:20 left here in the third quarter of play. The Aggies trail by 11, and Samuels is chopped down in the backfield. Jonah Laulu, junior out of Vegas, with his 5th tackle for loss this year.
So this is a stretch play that we've run with some success in the first half. In the second half, we come here, so now we're going left. We're trying to get out on the edge over there, and we just missed one tackle that just grabbed his foot and nothing doing. That's the tight end Whitford to the right of Jonah Johnson.
Johnson back to throw. He has time. He throws it a wobbly pass. It might have slipped. It was intended for Terrell Warner, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, as soon as he released that ball, you can kind of see that it was just got out of his hand wild. It was wet or something happened, but it certainly released high immediately. Nothing on the ball. Didn't stand a chance to get to that receiver for the first.
So the Aggies will have to punt with 42 seconds left.
You can see here, let's see, it's starting to affect a lot of rain, pushing, and it just slipped out of his hand immediately as he released it.
Here's the punt from Carlson into the wind. It's a short punt, and this one will backspin near midfield at the 50-yard line. Not easy to punt into that wind tonight. It's been playing tricks the entire game, both on field goals and our punts. Not a whole lot either team offensively here in this half, just a little more for Hawaii. That was only a 14-yard punt for Carlson. And you would have to think, Danny, up 11, late in the third quarter, it's raining, that Hawaii is going to try to run the football more and more.
Certainly, I think if they have the wind as well, that they're going to run the ball, or they're midfield, so certainly they can afford to run the ball and keep it on the ground and try to get as many yards and maybe put yourself in field goal range to add to that 11-point lead.
This is Turner at quarterback in the Wildcat formation. They use this a lot. We mentioned this earlier, that Turner could be used as a running back, as a receiver in the Wildcat. Sometimes he's under center and also as a return man. And Turner picks up 8 yards in the Wildcat formation.
Yeah, so he lines up everywhere, and so right to him, direct snap, and try to get as many yards as possible right up front there. Kind of see the hole just open up, and got a couple defensive linemen on their heels, and so when that happens, you can get underneath that and slip in there for some extra yardage.
Officials blow their whistle. That's the end of three quarters.
Third quarter.
A quiet quarter for both. Hawaii outscores the Aggies 7-0 in the third. Hawaii trying to avoid their 5th straight road loss. They lead by 11 through 3. Adam Young, Danny D, Megan McCormick with you from Aggie Memorial Stadium, where it's 24-13 Rainbow Warriors after 3 quarters of play. Ag Day and homecoming, pair of 1 and 3 teams. Rainbow Warriors have struggled on the road in recent years, and they're also trying to avoid their first 1 in 4 starts since 2014. They have a 2nd down and 2. Turner in the Wildcat. He will run right, finds a hole, gets by Caleb Mills, and he's finally taken out of bounds by Brohard. He's dangerous, Danny, in so many different ways.
Yeah, you know, he lines up in a lot of different positions because he is that talented of a player. And so when he gets there, he sees that that everything was just a big pile of mass in the front, and that he could break it to the outside, which he did, and Trevor was there to kind of push him out of bounds.
Turner, a former college quarterback at Jacksonville University. He transferred to Hawaii because Jacksonville disbanded their football program. They dropped football. Here's Turner on the jet sweep, and he can't find the edge. This is going to be a huge loss. Now he's going to change directions. Michael Bowe is right there. Turner gets away, stays on his feet, and he's going to be in the end zone. Unbelievable run by Calvin Turner Jr. He changed the field from left to right. He stayed on his feet, and he finds the end zone.
I'm at a loss of words, Adam. I don't even know how to call that. What do you? It's just it's a broken play, and it's just once you have a broken play, there's nothing happening on the right side, and so now you have to continue and stay in your lanes, because if you over pursue, which means you go way past the ball, there's no leverage. We certainly over pursued. There was no one on the back side, so he cuts it back. We missed a tackle or two, and he just walked it in.
Well, it goes as a 14-yard touchdown run for Turner, but he covered a whole lot more ground than 14 yards. Young man out of Savannah, Georgia. making a huge impact here tonight. When you have a guy like Turner who can do different things and play multiple positions and bring a whole new dynamic, it can really spark an offense.
So let's see what happens. Here it is. It's a sweep, jet sweep to the outside left. There's nothing there. It's shut down, no coverage. And instead of giving up, he cuts it all the way back. But by then, the Aggies have over pursued, so there's no one left on the backside. So there's no backside coverage. And he just jumps past one guy and walks it into the end zone.
A touchdown for Turner is his 6th total touchdown this year. 31-13 the score now. This game has changed drastically. It was 17-13 for a while. The Aggies had numerous chances offensively to put points on the board. Couldn't do so. Never could get over that hump. Backpedaling is Juwan Price, who will get a return. He's been really dangerous the last couple of weeks. He's almost had a return touchdown twice in the previous 2 weeks. A flag is down. Our referee tonight is Derek Anderson.
Holding, number 11, receiving team. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That goes on wide receiver Andre Bodison on special teams. How do you jumpstart this offense, Danny?
Well, I think you got to look at the clock and see how many points you're down. So we're down a few, but the first thing you need to do is collect that first down, right? So start there, and you don't have to get it back in one play, but you need to start getting some major pushes up front there on the offensive line to give us some protection or some running room.
Looks like the rain is pretty much stopped. High grab for the tight end, Whitford. Breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, stampedes ahead, tumbles across the 40. Tomas Whitford having his best game as an Aggie tonight.
Yeah, at 6'4", 240, how many times have we seen the ball and it's just kind of, he gets rolling and everyone hits him and just bounces off. He must be just rock hard, and guys weren't tackling him. He's like, I'm not falling.
5th catch for Whitford. This one goes for 26. Johnson back to throw, whistles it far side. Good adjustment there for Jared Wyatt to make the catch. And that'll move the chains again as Wyatt gets 11, and Jared Wyatt is now approaching 100 yards. He has 97 receiving.
Yeah, Jared's had a really good night. He's catching everything that's close to him, and he's got good hands, and so anytime he gets the ball that's close, he's going to bring it in. So here it is here, quick toss to the outside across the field, good arm, and he just hauls it in.
Aggies trying to get a quick score. Big burst on the outside for Omari Samuels. That is his 13th carry to lead the Aggies tonight. He picks up 5.5.
So that's that same play that we keep coming back to it, and I just want you to get the edge. If you get the corner, Juwan can actually take it to the house. There's one block, one guy away from taking it to the house, but he got very good yardage with that play.
Aggies just shy of 300 yards of offense tonight. 400 plus for Hawai'i. Johnson back to pass, avoids pressure, steps up, now he'll tuck it and run. Stays on his feet, he's inside the 30. They're gonna mark him down at the 30. 13-yard pickup on the run for the quarterback Johnson, his longest as an Aggie.
So they're keeping, we have the tight end, you see it at the bottom of the screen here, that is kind of his relief, his hot route, that he can dump the ball to him. Well, they've kind of jammed him up a little bit and didn't allow him to release.
Here's Samuels, who squirts up to the 29-yard line. He only gets 1 yard on the run. Aggies still trying to find that right balance of pass and run. 2nd down and 9. Under 12 left in the 4th. A lot of ground to make up. Aggies still looking for their first points of the half. Johnson gets away again. He throws, almost intercepted. That was Cortez Davis who got his hand on it, just couldn't reel it in.
When you get a jailbreak where everyone's running around, you have to be careful with the ball because where it appears he's wide open, there's someone spying you, and as you see him, and again, this is a tough throw too because you're running to the left and you have to square your shoulders and throw it back across the field or across your body. It makes it a very tough throw and almost got picked.
Pass was intended for Terrell Warner. No catches this week, none last week either for Warner. Third down, 9 yards to go. Pocket collapses and it's incomplete. Bobbled and dropped by Tomas Whitford, his first mistake tonight. As the rain picks up again, and this is 4-down territory for the Aggie offense, Danny, here in the fourth.
Yeah, this is tough, and so it's just going to be a release across the middle there, and he just couldn't pull it in, and it's a little bit low, and it gets a little harder now because it's the rain is really coming down, but you got to go for it.
First fourth down try for the Aggies tonight. 2 for 7 for the year. They need the 20. With the rain falling, Johnson will toss it. Caught by Whitford inside the 10, and he's upended at the 6-yard line. That was a dangerous pass because it seemed like Johnson was almost beyond the line of scrimmage.
It looked close, didn't it? It looked very close, and so let's take a look here. And so there's the line of scrimmage right there, about the 30. And, oh, he dumps it off before. And it's just a little shuffle pass to Tomas. And, man, he took a lick in there, too, as well. Getting up a little slow.
14-yard connection down to the 5-yard line. The give is to Samuels, and he crawls down to the 3-yard line. He picks up a couple. And the rain's picking up again. Second down and goal from the 3. Big quarterback Jonah Johnson, 238-pounder, junior out of Madera, California. Empty backfield. We'll see if Johnson runs it himself here. Design keeper, and he is in the end zone. Johnson from 3 yards away. His first rushing touchdown of the season.
It's interesting because as we're sitting up here, it looked like they're opening it up for the quarterback keeper, right, with the rain. I'm not sure he was going to throw it down here, but let's take a look. What they did is they just cut everyone at the line of scrimmage. They had everyone wide, so everyone had to be covered. They left no one else to get Jonah. And once they cut that line, they all fell like logs and like trees, and then he just walked it in there. And here they're going to go for 2.
Aggies trying to make this a 10-point game. A little trickery, end around. It's Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, and he's in for the successful 2-point conversion. 31-21, the Aggies make it a 10-point game. Johnson runs it in from 3. Garcia Castaneda on the 2-point conversion. We're back to Aggie Memorial after this. NM State looking for their second straight win on a rainy, windy, cool night from Aggie Memorial Stadium. The Aggies trying to make a game of this. They trail now 31-21 after a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion. Tonight's Ag Day and homecoming game is presented by the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and New Mexico State University's College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences, and brought to you in part by the New Mexico Beef Council. Not over yet, Danny.
It is not over, and the Aggies continue to fight. That's a great couple of play calls in there. Trick plays. We've seen Coach pull some trick plays out a few times, right? Sneaking people out of the backfield. A little reverse pass. And so now a reverse that gets 2 points.
Aggies kicking off to Turner, and he will take a knee. Not a bad night for Turner. 4 carries, 52 yards, 6 catches, 66 yards. We've seen him at quarterback in the Wildcat. He's returning punts. He's returning kicks. Was watching the game last week against San Jose State, and Dior Scott returned some punts, and my assumption was they were just trying to give Turner a breather. He was doing everything else.
Yeah, Turner was doing everything, and so we joked with some of the Hawaii guys too. It's like, man, we see Turner everywhere. Are you sure he didn't drive the bus up from El Paso and he didn't do a couple other things as well? Because there is not much that he hasn't done. So let's keep your eye on him. You got to keep your eye on him. Make sure you find out where he is. Most importantly, you got to contain the quarterback.
We've seen a lot of Dedrick Parson at running back in this half instead of Day-Day Hunter, and Parson with a big burst on first down. The transfer from FCS Howard in the MEAC, he picks up 23 on the first down run.
Yeah, that makes it hard right there when you're giving up so much yards on the ground. You gotta get your stand. You gotta make a stand. Here they go with some tempo. They like the up tempo.
They'll stay on the ground with Parson trying to navigate his way through the Aggie linebacker core, and he gets to Nick Jock alone before he's taken down. Another great run. This one goes for 9.5 yards, maybe 10. We'll see if this one moves the chains.
So the quick tempo allows them to get set. The Aggies are looking to the sidelines looking for the play, and it looks like they're on their heels. See them all standing up, and when you get a defensive line that's standing up, you put them on roller skates, push them back, and you get lots of yardage.
Here's Parson again towards the edge, taken down by Dalton Bowles. So they're just going to ride the 205-pounder from Philadelphia here midway through the fourth quarter.
And they're just going to continue to run the ball. If you can't stop them, then why should they stop? And here they are, have everyone pinned on the inside, and so they're just going to run it, keep it to the outside, and get some extra yards in there.
Tempo again for Hawaii out of the Mountain West Conference, looking for their second win of the season and their first against an FBS opponent. Here's Day-Day Hunter. I was beginning to wonder where he was because Parsons had the bulk of the carries here in this half. Hunter gets 5 yards. He's a sophomore from Denver.
See Trevor's on the tackle there. Trevor's everywhere. He's got his hands full trying to keep those big offensive linemen off him so he can get in there and fill the gap and make some tackles. We could use a strip right about now.
Right back to Hunter. Good tackle made there by Brohard, who came back last week after missing a couple of games with COVID protocols. Led the Aggies in tackles a week ago, and he's been active again tonight.
Yeah, Trevor is doing a good job in the middle there. He's really the heart and soul of that group. Having him out really mattered, makes a big difference. Need a stop, though. Got to get a stop.
Hawaii will let this clock run now with a 10-point advantage. 8 minutes left here in the fourth. Now they'll snap the football. Parson still on his feet. They're going to mark him down at the 21.5-yard line. It's going to be third down and short for the Rainbow Warriors.
And they just put him back behind those big 350-pound, 300-pound linemen, and they just move the whole pile.
Botch snap.
Wow.
Cordero falls on it, and then Brohard falls on Cordero.
That's a break.
And the Rainbow Warriors will have to settle for a field goal try after a 3-yard loss on a muffed snap.
Yeah,
and it might have been because Cordero's fingers were wet.
It could be, and it could be. It looked like he may have peeked up as well, but you just can't tell. But it just bounced off. He never really had a handle on it.
Watch for the hold on the kick here as well. With the turf wet, rain is pretty much stopped. Still a light drizzle. 41-yard try for Shipley, and it is good. Big kick there for Matthew Shipley. Makes his second field goal tonight. This one from 41 yards away. Rainbow Warriors ahead by 2 scores in Las Cruces.
Dry, but it's all right. We're having a lot of fun down here. Yeah, Sage Dockstetter, so he comes to Las Cruces from Canada. Actually was drafted in the second round of the CFL, decided to stay another year with the Aggies. Now, you don't hear a lot of linemen who are vegetarians, but Sage is just that. He actually grew up on a reservation. He didn't even know what football was until the 7th grade, and he hopes to inspire Indigenous youth back home and show them that they can succeed. Guys, a huge year for his pro development. Hopes to hear his name called in the NFL, and also a huge year for him personally. Guys, he just got married this summer.
He did. Thank you, Megan. All sideline reports are brought to you by Memorial Medical Center, the official healthcare partner of Aggie Athletics. Sage is one of the team captains, making his 42nd career start. And like Megan was talking about, he hopes to have an NFL future. He's already been drafted in the Canadian Football League, and he's hoping that his draft stock will improve by playing this college season and then getting drafted, Danny, in the NFL. He's got the body for it. He's 6'7", 344. You don't see many guys that big around the country.
No, you don't. And he's done a great job for New Mexico State, and we're glad to have him back for his final year. And let's see what can happen if he gets into the NFL. He's been a great asset for us as well. And that is the biggest vegetarian I've ever seen.
Same here.
Okay,
Not
so
sure
we got
how
a
he
little
gets enough food, but
I don't
somehow
need
he
a
does.
calorie intake. But we got to get moving here. So now the clock is not our friend at 6:45, and we got 2 scores we got to get.
Aggies coming off a scoring drive that resulted in a 3-yard touchdown scamper for Jonah Johnson. That is a backward pass caught by Omari Samuels. We had a controversial call earlier, whether it was a forward pass or a backward pass that led to a scoop and score for the Rainbow Warriors, and nowhere to go right there. A loss of 3 for Samuels.
That was good coverage by Hawai'i. There's nothing he could do with the ball, so he just decided to dump it out and see if someone could get some extra yards.
Johnson, 22 of 35 for 224 and a touchdown. Couple of fumbles, no interceptions today for the Aggie offense. Johnson throws it to Garcia Castaneda. He's up to the 25.5-yard line. He gets 7.
So Hawaii's in a 3-man rush, and so with 3-man rush, you see 3 guys down there. They're threatening, but they fall back because they're in the zone because they don't want them to get anything deep, anything easy. They want them to use the clock, so they stay back in the zone. And so with 3 guys, they're still getting pressure on Jonah with 3 guys. We got to figure out a way to give him more time to get those receivers downfield so we can get some bigger chunks of plays.
Aggies need the 31-yard line. Heavy rush. Johnson somehow escapes it. He will run with the football, and he's out of bounds. He will stop the clock with 5:21 left as he runs for 10. Heavy rush from the linebacker, Darius Muasau, but Johnson's able to get away at 238 pounds.
Yeah, so the last play, they stayed back in zone and said, we're just going to sit there. This time they gambled and said, I'm bringing everyone, and they had 3 guys covered downfield, and so Jonah had to just keep the ball and was able to get 10 yards.
Aggies up to the 35-yard line. Rush again, incomplete. Bobbled by the running back, Omari Samuels, who was great last week with 4 catches in the passing game, and he comes up a little limp, and he will head off the field to his sideline.
Yeah, you got to catch those ones. Those are easy ones, and it's 5 yards, so it's not a huge deal that he dropped it, but those are ones that are catchable where you have to make something happen. We need someone to make a big play here to get on the board and hurry.
Under 5 left in the 4th. Johnson will tuck it and run again across the 40, and I don't think he meant to slide right there. He might have slipped on this wet turf. He gets 6 past the 40 up to the 41.
3 guys in coverage, so you're wondering why is he running so much here? Well, here's the thing. There's 3 guys in coverage. There's one there to your left, and they're all as covered as the guy was to your left there, so there's nothing else he could do with the ball.
Johnson throws, and it's caught by Bodison. You only have to get 1 foot down. He got a foot down, and Andre Bodison able to move the chains. He gets 5. He only needed 4.
So he gets it, great catch, and then the other added advantage is he gets out of bounds. They stop it and bring the chains up, and here they go.
Great footwork there for Bodison, redshirt senior from Palm Coast, Florida. Catch number 6 this year for Bodison. The Aggies approaching midfield. Johnson, here comes another run. Now he's going to stop and he's going to throw, and he rainbow lobs this one out of bounds.
You know, so many pass patterns for New Mexico State, it usually means there's multi-level patterns going on. And this time they went with 3 verticals. meaning you take 3 guys and you run them down as far as you can, and you're gambling that you can get a good one-on-one and throw a 50-50 ball up there and get a big play out. All 3 were covered. No one intermediate that he could go to, so he had to get the ball and throw it out of bounds.
Like Danny said, the clock is not the friend of the Aggies right now. Under 4 left. Big hole initially there for Juwan Price. He lowers his shoulders and he maneuvers across the sticks. First down and then some for Price. He picks up a dozen.
Yeah, so this is where everyone's back and they're playing a little prevent or softer defense and saying, no, you just can run it and the clock will keep going. So Juwan did that, and he got some extra yardage in there. He's still running very, very tough.
Aggies trying to score in back-to-back offensive drives. Clock is moving, under 3.5 left. Swing it out to Price, and it's incomplete. That pass also a little bit high. Once again, when Jonah Johnson is missed, he's missed high with his receivers tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the wrist is still bothering him or if it's just coming out of his hand because the ball's wet, the ground is wet, or what's happening there. But he missed it high. Nothing happening on that, so there's no problem. Stop the clock, so it's all right. But we do need some big play here, and we need to figure out a way to get some multiple layer of receivers downfield.
Empty backfield, they swing it out. This one is low. The first pass that's been low here today. Also intended for Juwan Price. Price has not caught a ball yet tonight, which is unusual for him. He had 9 catches in the first 4 games coming in.
So 3rd and long. We've had multiple guys out in the open. We can't get the ball to them, but we got to keep figuring out a way to, you don't have to get the first down, but you have to get close enough where you can use a 4th down to pick up that first, but we need the first down.
Bodison, Downs, and Warner, bottom side. Flag flies. Johnson throws, and it is incomplete. Probably holding anyway, Danny.
Yeah, they're going to bring it back anyway because that's where the penalty flag was thrown, in the holding area. And there was nothing there. There was no one open, nothing he could do with the ball. The hold is going to make it harder if you go for it on 4th down, but I'm not sure where the hold they call. It's a 3-man rush, and you see a linebacker back there kind of mirroring Jonah. So if Jonah runs, he's the guy.
10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's penalty number 6 on the Aggies tonight. A lot of those have come in this half. They average 7 penalties per game. They played a really clean first 30 minutes. The second half not as clean for the Aggies. So they're going to replay 3rd down. The Aggies need the 33. That's the 33 of the Rainbow Warriors they need. Johnson throws it into no man's land as he's taken down. Big hit there for Darius Muasau. We've called his name all night. He is an active linebacker from Eva Beach, Oahu. Led the country at the FBS level last year in solo tackles, and he's been all over the place tonight.
Intentional grounding, number 10 of the offense. The penalty, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
Yeah, so tough there. Nothing that Jonah could do with the ball or nowhere to go. Everyone was covered. They brought pressure. We had everyone out in patterns. There was no extra cover or extra protection that could pick up a late blitzing linebacker, and it just put too much pressure on Jonah.
That was an easy call to make. You could tell right there, there was no receiver anywhere near where Jonah Johnson threw the football. 4th and 32, and the Aggie offense is out there because you're down 13 with 3 minutes left. Really no reason to punt the ball here. So they're going to take a deep shot, and it's out of bounds. That's just a horrible situation to be in. You can punt the football, but then you're pretty much giving up the game there, Danny, right?
You are. That's a tough one right there. So you needed that first down.
You can punt the football, but you're not going to get the football back.
Right. Well, a lot of things can happen, right? So that's why we play the game with 3 minutes left. you're going to figure out a way to maybe strip the ball. There's a lot of things that have happened that it's just kind of weird. And so you still have to play it out the last 2 minutes, 54 seconds. But that's a tough one right there.
Aggies scored first tonight, an early field goal for Ethan Albertson in the first drive of the game. 10-3 was the score after 1 quarter, 17-13 after 2, 34-21 in the fourth. We're back after this. The Aggies turning over on downs. Football back to Hawaii. Final 3 minutes here tonight from Aggie Memorial Stadium. The rain scared away a lot of folks in the second half, but some of the folks have still stuck around. The rain has pretty much all but stopped. Hawaii in position for their second win of the season. The Aggies in position now to fall to 1-4. Home and home this year, the first of 2 matchups in less than a month. They're going to meet again October 23rd in Honolulu. Here's Dedrick Parson. He's had a good night on the ground. That's his 8th rush for 60 yards as he gets a half dozen on the first down run.
Yeah, just going to keep the ball on the ground, run the clock, try to collect this first wind, and get back to the island and get ready for their next opponent.
Please reset the game clock to 2:47.
Danny, did you see that difference in time of possession? The Aggies have had it for 35 minutes and change, 21 minutes and change for Hawaii. So the Aggies have had the football way more than the Rainbow Warriors, and we have to go back to late in the first half. Those missed opportunities offensively really coming back to hurt the Aggies.
Yes, we missed a field goal. We missed a TD. We overthrew it. We gave them a scoop and score. I don't know if that was, a backwards pass or not. And then in the second half, we ended up fumbling and took the ball from us and put in a score that kind of started this bow wave against us.
Aggies still have 2 timeouts left to stop the clock. Parson able to run it for the first down. It's been more Parson than Hunter in half 2. That'll move the chains. The clock will stop to get the chains moved as Parson picks up 9 yards on the carry, and he's up to 69 yards for the game. He's averaging well over 8 yards per rush. Parson transferred in from Howard University in Washington, D.C., led them in rushing both seasons he was there. He's only 5'8", but he weighs in 205. From Philadelphia. Chevin Cordero right back in the belly of Parson. And he shimmies ahead for maybe a yard.
Second charge timeout for New Mexico State. So 30-second timeout.
Looking ahead, Danny, the Aggies will have San Jose State next Saturday in San Jose. San Jose State last weekend played Hawaii in a dandy in Honolulu. Very winnable game again. San Jose State not as good on paper so far as many thought they would be.
Yeah, I think, watching that game with Hawaii and San Jose State, that was a coin toss at times. I thought, okay, well, it's going to go one way. It never really did. Nothing really transpired, and it just kind of stayed kind of close. So it'll be a good game for New Mexico State. I think San Jose State lost one today. New Mexico State did some positive things today, and I think there's a lot to take away from it.
There you look at the upcoming game. San Jose State offensively is struggling right now the last couple of games, which is unusual for them with everything they have back offensively. Nick Starkel's their quarterback, and he's a good one. Here's Parson into the end zone. Dedrick Parson, his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Just puts a little salt in the wound here, doesn't it? So you get up on the line of scrimmage, and hey, Hawaii's got to go. They have to go full blast, full steam, and they did. And we thought we had him pinned down there. He bounced it around. We had no containment. So you'll see him right here kind of bounce around, cut to the left. We lose containment right there, and with that, he can walk that one in.
19-yard touchdown run for Parson. The quarterback in that formation was Turner, so he was the one under center. We've seen that a few times tonight. 4 plays, 35 yards, a minute 02 on that drive for Hawaii. So it's San Jose State, then Nevada, then in Honolulu at Hawaii for the Aggies and for Hawaii. They got Fresno State, then Nevada, then the Aggies. Fresno State currently in the top 25. Fresno State played a nail-biter against UNLV last night. UNLV almost pulled off a huge upset against nationally ranked Fresno. So big test for Hawaii. Those are Hawaii times on the right of the Hawaii games, by the way, for those of you watching in Honolulu.
You know, I like our schedule, Adam. I like playing a lot of these Mountain West teams. This is the old WAC, you know, and so when I was talking to Coach Matt Christian, he was saying, you know, I remember playing in the WAC, playing these teams. I like playing these teams. I do too. And we're in this game. We did some positive things, and there's some good things to take out of here, but we just can't quite get it together for 4 quarters.
Juwan Price needs to be careful here. But that ball touched him initially, and Hawaii's trying to say so. Danny, I wonder if that ball touched Juwan Price initially. It seemed like it might have.
I think it did.
They're going to talk about a nonchalant return initially by him on the handle.
And they're going to talk about it now.
This could be a nightmare finish for the Aggies.
The ruling on the field is the returner touched the ball in the field of play and was down in the end zone. It's a safety.
Yeah, Danny, that went through his legs and then clipped it.
So it's going to be a tough one. I mean, the
correction, it's a touchback.
All right, so a touchback instead of a safety, which was the call on the field originally. Well, it's the end of the night for everybody, right?
It's the end of the night for everyone, and so there's going to be a lot of good things to take from this, as we said earlier, when they go to films, look at films and see the positive things that happen, and then there's a lot of things that clean up as well. They're in the game. I mean, we had a lot of things that can change the direction of a game in a hurry, and it just seems like it's always been that way so far for the Aggies this year.
This is the final home game for the Aggies for almost a month and a half, by the way. They're not going to be back home until November 6th when they play Utah State in their first 2 home games to finish off the season. Passes caught by Jared Wyatt. Individually, he's had a heck of a birthday. That's his 8th catch, and he's north of 100 yards now. Johnson whistles it near side. Wyatt again. This hasn't been just a good day for Wyatt. This has been a career day. His best game collegiately with the Aggies for Jared Wyatt, and he's really been coming on the last couple of weeks.
He had a big catch tonight. He's got really great hands. He had a one-hander at UNM that was just amazing. He's doing quite well for the Aggies.
Johnson will step up and throw. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Quiet night for him. That is only his 4th catch. He's only pulled in 18 receiving yards, a couple of short gainers for Garcia Castaneda.
It's the final timeout of the half. This is a 1-minute timeout.
Timeout called by the Aggies with 1:19 to go. When you look at the score in the end, Danny, if you didn't watch the game or follow the game, I mean, it's hard to really gather what happened here tonight because the Aggies had countless chances to take control of the game and just couldn't do so. And honestly, it was probably red zone issues again, which was the big bugaboo in the first 3 games.
Yeah, if you look at the first half, it was 17-13. Hawaii's up. But in that first half, they had a scoop and score. They had a huge play at their first series. And yeah, we get to the red zone, and we couldn't convert on a pass, so we had to take 3 points, which is good. But we missed an easy touchdown. That should have been easy 6 to Isaiah. And then we missed a field goal, and that kind of turned the tide. We were still in the game, but then halftime, it unraveled in a hurry.
Score at halftime was 17-13. Hawaii got the ball to start half two, and even early on in half two, the Aggies had some chances. There's a catch for Terrell Warner. His first tonight, his first in 3 weeks. He did not catch a ball last week. He had 10, if you recall, against San Diego State earlier this year in one game.
Right. We have a lot of weapons. We have a lot of things that we can do with the ball. It's trying to get the ball out to these receivers to do something. And a lot of that had to do with pressure. And we knew that Hawaii was going to bring the pressure, and they did.
The Aggies trying to finish strong. In stride to Omari Samuels. Running back, working there out of the backfield. And he gets a handful. Johnson back to throw again, and this one is intercepted. Intercepted near side of the field by Lockridge, and he's inside the 30, and he's taken down there. That was a return by Lockridge where he wasn't really moving fast. I wonder if he was just trying to use some clock there.
Yeah, I think he was, and I think that's just a miscue, and he just threw the ball, and the receiver wasn't right in line with what the quarterback was looking at. He thought he was going to pull up, turn around, and he let it roll, and he let it go, and the receiver continued on. He didn't stop, and it just went right to Lockridge, who was just standing there, and he just took the ball and was going to eat the clock.
So 41-21 will be the final tonight. The Aggies will fall to 1-4. Hawaii will go to 2-3. Next up for the Rainbow Warriors is going to be a home game against Fresno State next Saturday, and for the Aggies at San Jose State next Saturday. A game of missed opportunities for the Aggies here tonight. Hate to say that when you lose 41-21, it was winnable, but in certain junctures, Danny, the tide could have been turned, and it could have been very winnable.
Oh, we were in the game. We were in the game without a doubt, Adam. Even at halftime, we're in the game, so we're so close to turning this thing around that we just couldn't pull it together. So we lost a couple of fumbles that really cost us a big, and then we just kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter here, but we're in the game. These are games that we can win. So we did stand toe-to-toe with them for the longest time.
All right, we'll send it down to the field. Coach is standing by with Megan McCormick.
Obviously not the result that you wanted. What positives can you take away from this game?
Well, we're just playing hard as a team. You know, we're doing the right things. Kids are working hard. We just make too many mistakes right now on both sides of the ball.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Megan. All sideline reports are brought to you by Memorial Medical Center. We'll take it to break. When we come back, we'll have the Nusenda Credit Union postgame show. 41-21 the final from Aggie Memorial.